use of Tylenol to the condition. Potential treatments for the developmental disorder will also be discussed. A spokesperson for the maker of Tylenol, though, says there's no evidence linking the medication to autism.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. The San Francisco area got a little shaken up very early this morning. An earthquake near Berkeley, magnitude 4.3. No reports of damage or injuries. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A week to keep your eye on the sky. You've got rain falling all across the state at the moment on radar. 69 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Showers and thunderstorms, in fact, are possible nearly every day this week across Indiana.
And with the rain, too, given the fact that we're having multiple episodes of rain showers over the next few days, if something does happen to go over the same place over and over again, we could see a localized flood threat. But other than that, not too many hazards.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the rain will likely be heaviest in the southern part of the state. At least 2 people died and about 10 others were injured in shootings across Indianapolis over the weekend. IMPD announcing this morning that they arrested a man named Carlos Contreras for a shooting on Georgetown Road, and they also say they took a man named Brian Edwards into custody for a shooting that happened Saturday night. In that case, Edwards is charged with attempted murder and battery on a public safety officer. The weekend violence in Indianapolis has people on edge.
It is sad because, somebody lost their family member, their brother or sister.
That's Victoria Holmes, who spoke to Wish TV. She was driving home Saturday night when she passed the scene of a shooting on Indy's northeast side. Both Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and City County Council Majority Leader Maggie Lewis say they are saddened and angered by the violence. $3.03 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, according to AAA. The Indianapolis Colts moved to 3-0 with a 41-20 thrashing of the Tennessee Titans on Sunday, while the Indiana Fever took down the Las Vegas Aces 89-73 to win Game 1 of their WNBA semifinal playoff series. Game 2 is Tuesday night. The Indiana Hoosier football team makes a statement Saturday with a 63-10 blowout win of Illinois. Jake McDaniel.
IU head football coach Kurt Cignetti says he's proud of the coaches and players.
The block punt got us going, and then they couldn't stop us. They couldn't match up on the perimeter. And then, we broke their will and just pounded them.
He believes this big win against a top 10 team will quiet some of their critics. Indiana faces the Iowa Hawkeyes this coming Saturday afternoon, kickoff at 3:30, and pregame coverage at 2:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Because of that win, Indiana's now ranked 11th in the latest Associated Press college football poll, which is up 8 spots from last week. Notre Dame moved from 24th to 22nd after they took down Purdue Saturday 56-30. And with traffic now, here's Jeremy Scott.
Well, good morning, John. We start things off with a couple of new crashes. One in the west side of Arlington Woods neighborhood at Shadeland and Western Select Drive. The other in Lawrence, as we mentioned earlier, Franklin and Pendleton Pike. But massive problems on the far south side. 65 northbound crawls approaching Hurricane Road. That's all due to a jackknife semi blocking the 2 left lanes. Once you get past that, your heavy Keystone to the south split. Southbound still heavy into downtown via MLK. Also 465 northbound heavy from 86 around the corner past 865 with construction in left lane till Wednesday. And traffic is sponsored by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
As proud sports medicine partners of the Indianapolis Indians, Butler University, Purdue University, and the Indiana Sports Corporation, Franciscan Health is here to keep our community moving. Whether you're a weekend warrior or high school champ, we offer injury evaluations, concussion testing, and personalized recovery plans to help you get back out there. Because when you love the game, we love getting you back in it. Call 317-781-1133 or visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedindy.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough. Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Today, cooler too. Today's high 75. Showers ending overnight with some patchy fog, a low down to 64. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
It is raining and 69 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 9:07, time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Did I call it? Or did I call it?
What did you call? Did you call me on my cell phone?
Did I not tell you how that was going to go down?
It went down exactly how you said it would.
These people are as predictable as boy howdy. Just think about that,
You
Casey.
know them better than they know themselves.
They do. It's just such a great experiment to see, hey, if I poke this door, I wonder who's going to walk out from behind it. And they always walk out from behind it. Yeah. But I mean, I think this was one of the great honors of my life, and we'll get into this later on in the show, that the Republican Party has now admitted our politicians are so unethical, so corrupt, so underhanded, that the mere thought of knowing you're going to be in their presence and they can't run and they can't hide, and you might ask them a simple question about their behavior as an elected official is just too much for them.
Can't handle it.
So we'll get to that later on, but first, obviously, by the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. The big news is the Charlie Kirk funeral yesterday, and obviously
the memorial service.
Everybody's talking about it. And I got many parts of this I want to discuss with you today because I thought that was just, there were many things to me that were fascinating. Tony touched on this a little bit in his show, and so I thought I'd expand on it if you'll indulge me for a minute. Because obviously, look, I mean, it was an incredible showing. There were satellite, events all across the country. One here in central Indiana, in Zionsville, that was very well attended, and obviously a huge outpouring of people. My question with this is, what does it actually mean? And what are we going to accomplish from it? Because one of the things that has become abundantly clear, and our audience is keen to this, is that there really isn't that much difference between the establishment ruling arm of the Republican Party and the Democrats. They both spend colossal amounts of money. They've spent you into unaffordable levels of inflation. They have, they both just give away to special interests. They just serve different special interests, and your life keeps getting harder, and their donors and lobbyists and the people who fund, and we'll get into this more later on in the program, get rewarded. And so I keep hearing about that there's this great awakening. There's this great motivation. All of these people are now going to engage like never before. They're going to come out like ever before. But if you just keep allowing the same people to be in power, which I haven't heard anyone say, this is going to motivate us, we're going to crush the leadership of the Republican Party, then we're going to motivate to what? And that's what I'm looking for. We're going to motivate to what? I keep hearing it's going to be like never before. Well, the Tea Party movement of 2010 was really strong. I know, I was there, and I heard that then, like, we're taking the government back. We're going to this. Nothing changed. The spending kept getting worse. So what I'm interested in now is this outpouring of emotion, this outpouring of sympathy, this outpouring of enthusiasm, but for what? Because as long as the same people, which I haven't heard one person say, we're going to crush the leadership of the Republican Party, you can elect whoever you want, and as we've seen time and again, just for electing rank-and-file people, nothing's going to change.
No, more than anything, and it united some of the conservative factions, especially when you look that Tucker Carlson was there, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, Dana White, all different people presenting different sides. So what you're saying is that America doesn't have a two-party system and has a corporate party with two different marketing strategies. The difference is going to be the social issues. They're presenting a more peaceful, kind-hearted, religious front.
Well, and look, I think it's great. Obviously, front and center. The Lord was front and center throughout all of this, and Charlie Kirk's faith. And I think that's.
Wouldn't you rather have that than the opposite?
Well, of course. No, I'm not saying that in any shape, form, or fashion. But when I, it's sort of like a cause without a description, right? You wait, you're gonna see. But what am I gonna see? People are gonna, like never before. They're going to what? If the goal is we're gonna fundamentally change the country, then I have yet to see a blueprint to do that. And so that's what I'm going to be interested in. Like I said, Tony, very high level, not to the detail that we're getting into, sort of touched on this in his program earlier. And so until they come up with that, it's awesome to have enthusiasm. It's awesome to want revenge. It's awesome to want to get motivated. I've seen this happen before, and it's really hard to keep people engaged. It's easy to get people engaged. It's hard to keep people engaged. And I saw this in, like I said, 2010, because that's really when I first started getting involved, for lack of a better term, was those Tea Party events in 2010. We were filling rooms. It was rallies. It was unbelievable. And then I ran in 2011. A lot of those people were still there. They were still engaged. It was easy to get those people motivated. And then by like 2012, you started seeing it taper off a little bit. And by 2013 or 2014, it was back to the same people who are always there. And God bless those people. They're wonderful, amazing people. But it was the same crowd. So the question is going to be, we're motivated to what? How are you going to make a difference? And the bigger question becomes, how do you keep people involved? Because lives, families, jobs, other hobbies, it all gets in the way, right? And after the 6 months from now, a year from now, is the enthusiasm still as strong?
Well, I do believe that people need something to turn to, and this is something they can turn to that will help them, their families, their country. It's much better than the opposite of what they could turn to. We know that for sure. I think that going forward, that's going to be the task that is going to be placed on Erica Kirk's shoulders. How will she move this message forward? And if you caught a couple of things last night when she was speaking, I want to play some of the audio from her because it was an amazing speech. And how she garnered the strength to do it, I don't know. You could tell at the end of it that she wanted to lean on somebody, and she chose Donald Trump, which was just amazing. But she said a few things. She was talking about, Caleb, we're going to need 7 and 8 here. She was talking about, how, Charlie Kirk's message was to men. And now that Erica Kirk is going to be in charge of Turning Point USA, I think that she is going to turn the focus towards the young women on the college campuses. And I say that because of a few things that she said, and here's one of them.
Women, I have a challenge for you too. Be virtuous. Our strength is found in God's design for our role. We are the guardians. We are the encouragers. We are the preservers. Guard your heart. Everything you do flows from it. And if you're a mother, please recognize that is the single most important ministry you have.
I could see her being very powerful, talking to women and her conviction and her religion.
Yeah, all right. So we'll get into this throughout the course of the day today. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of audio to play, a lot to talk about. I have an etiquette question for you.
Okay.
When we return.
Sure.
Well, actually, I have a couple of etiquette questions. I may have just committed major faux pas over the weekend. But I'll need you to sort it out for me because you're the good and decent one of the program.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
It's football season. The air is crisp, the stakes are high, and every winning team has one thing in common: a solid game plan. The same goes for retirement. You need a clear strategy, smart play calling, and a team who knows the field. At Howard Bailey Financial, we help you prepare for the long game, anticipating challenges, protecting your lead, and calling the right plays when it matters most. Because, let's face it, retirement isn't a pickup game. It's the championship round, and you don't want to wing it. Get off the sidelines and into the huddle. Text PLAY to 888-494-5004 to download your free retirement toolkit. That's PLAY to 888-494-5004. Howard Bailey Financial, because every great retirement deserves a game-winning drive. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk with an oncologist within 48 hours of your diagnosis, so you won't have to wait to start finding answers.
They got me in pretty quickly to meet my team. They gave me the plan and what they knew and what they wanted to do. I was really impressed with the care team and the approach they took.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Heating and air conditioning can be the largest investment you make in your home. Here at Family, we pride ourselves in offering many flexible options.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Considered myself a pretty decent person. Tried to obey the laws of civil society.
Sure,
and
pay your taxes.
Stay out of the mycase.in.gov to the best of my ability, and out of the post office, and did have a seatbelt violation, I believe in 2008. I think that's my biggest high crime and misdemeanor. But Sunday may have proved me wrong. I mean, I may be a complete piece of garbage and not have even known it, Casey.
What happened?
Well, this is the broader question and the thing that you and I have chatted about this and other people have, which is I kind of have grown concerned about the unwavering demands of certain people, like the unfettered round-the-clock loyalty to whatever the cause of the moment is. And look, I think on this program, we've done a pretty good job of paying tribute to and acknowledging the accomplishments of and talking about the good that Charlie Kirk has done in the world, right? I mean, you've been here the entire time, right? I think on every show since Charlie Kirk's death, in almost some capacity, we've talked about him. We've talked about how horrible it was. We talked about all the young people that he motivated. Am I imagining that?
No, we've done that.
Okay, so we've got 50,000-ish listeners a day, and so in terms of people who have reached the masses talking about the positives of Charlie Kirk, I think you can put us in the, well, let's just call us the upper 1%ers in society, right? In terms of the amount of people we've reached talking about the goodness and the decency of Charlie Kirk, right? Okay. So the Charlie Kirk funeral and the things surrounding that and all the various things were going on yesterday. And look, I got to kind of admit, Casey, I did not watch the funeral in real time. There is this thing called the internet now, social media, which is great. You can go back and watch specific things. I've talked to other of my conservative friends who did the same thing because, well, Sunday there were a lot of National League football games. The Colts played at 1. The Bears played at 4:30. And I thought, if I can see all the things I need to see later in the afternoon, I think I'll just enjoy some time with my daughter and my wife, and we'll sit around and do some family stuff, and we'll watch the football games. We'll go over to Grandpa's house, and so I got to be honest. I didn't watch the funeral in real time.
Yeah,
but it seems like to some people that makes me a bad person, perhaps.
They felt like you weren't on board with the message.
Well, because I was tweeting about some other things that are going on. How the Republicans in the state are so scared of people like Diego Morales getting asked any questions about, like, I don't know, a mysterious trip to India and who paid for it, that they're now just banning me from events because they're so afraid of these people having to answer these questions. And so I was tweeting about that, and somebody who I know got on social media and started lecturing me about tweeting during the Charlie Kirk funeral.
Just during the funeral?
Yeah.
The memorial service?
Right.
Were they saying you shouldn't be doing that?
Yes, they were saying that I should be watching the Charlie Kirk funeral. They shouldn't be tweeting during the Charlie Kirk funeral. And I thought, where are we at now? And I responded to the person. I said, I think I've done enough to promote Charlie Kirk. I think it'll be okay if I watch the funeral, go back and watch clips at night. And 2, I think Charlie'd be pretty proud if I'm calling out government corruption and Republicans not living up to their end of the bargain with the people of our state. Of course, I didn't really get a response to that. But where are we at where now we demand such absolutism, such unfettered, unquestioning loyalty, that the fact that I've spent a week and a half talking about how great this guy is, that's not enough to people, Casey. That's not good enough. Now, unless I give up my entire Sunday and watch every single second of the whole thing in real time and don't tweet about anything but that while it's going on for the whole time it's going on, that I'm somehow a bad person.
I'm wondering if it's somebody who is saying, like, read the room right now. The president said we're a nation in mourning, and maybe just be appropriate for the moment.
Oh, you mean the president was talking about how hot the country is?
Yeah, isn't that something in the same speech?
The guy who went to the Yankees game? The guy who was talking about the ballroom? Oh, I need to read the room, right?
Yeah, he did in the same speech. He said that we were a nation in mourning, but we were also a very hot country.
Oh, so
and he was talking about
tariffs.
Policy. Yeah.
Not the people in the country.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he shared Charlie Kirk's last words with him were, "Please, sir, save Chicago." So
yeah, but I want to
alluded to the fact.
I want to come back, Casey. So all the stuff that I've done, 50,000 people a day, every show paying some sort of tribute, talking about it's been almost 2 weeks now. The fact that in real time I said, I'm going to do some things that are interesting to me today. Because while Charlie Kirk was a great American, he was a great speaker, a great orator, loved the Lord, all things that are wonderful. I didn't personally know Charlie Kirk. I mean, I had him on the show one time. I did go back and watch parts of the funeral later to prepare for this program. I still today have come out saying what a great guy he is, all the things he did, how he will leave a void that will probably not be able to be filled. But I think reading the room means you've got to understand when you're barking at people that are on your team, when you're trying to like mom shame some person who's 100% been on your team because they're still not doing enough out of a week and a half, that's somebody who needs to read the room. Because what I guess we're saying is any person who watched the Colts game yesterday, if you at 1 o'clock said, man, it's been a rough week for me, I'm going to kick back and drink a few cold ones.
Right.
That you're somehow less than or someone who should hide your head in shame. Or if you said, man, you know what? For 70, 80 years, my family's been Bears fans. I'm going to kind of enjoy this game at 4:30 and enjoy a first Bears win of the year. That you're somehow someone who should be just ducking in shame because you didn't watch the entire funeral in real time. That's who needs to read the room. That's how you alienate people.
What was it, 5 hours long? Yeah, it was a 5-hour memorial. So in this person's mind, they wanted you to be completely 100% focused on that for 5 hours.
And so I just wanted to ask you, as the person of decency and reason on this program, if I should I apologize to that person for not watching all 5 hours?
I think you're okay.
Okay, very good.
Okay. You're allowed to do something for yourself like that.
Boy, I was very concerned.
No, you're okay.
Thank you.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Get there before the truck is gone.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How the Indiana weather is changing this time. You've got rain all across central Indiana at the moment, 68 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Along with rain falling this week across Indiana, the temperatures will also be changing.
It should stay fairly cool compared to what it was this last weekend. We get back towards seasonal as we get into the late part of this weekend into early next week, which seasonal for this time of year is like upper 70s to near 80.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says both the rain and wind gusts might be heavy at times. A government shutdown could happen if a deal is not reached before the deadline in more than a week from now. On Sunday, President Trump said he'd consider meeting with members of Congress if necessary, but he thinks Democrats are setting up roadblocks.
They're deranged. If we gave them everything they wanted, they wouldn't extend, in my opinion. You know, they say, oh, they want to meet, but it's nonsense.
Democrats want to tie funding to an extension of subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, and Republicans are against that. Monday Night Football tonight between the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. Detroit head coach Dan Campbell says it's never easy playing Baltimore.
We recognize this opponent, and we respect what they're about.
Both teams are 1-1. Kickoff at 8:15 this evening. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. So far, the Dow is down 179 points to 46,135. The S&P 500 is off 11 points, 6653. And the NASDAQ is down 23 points to 22,608. I'm Sean Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, guys, it's Rob for our friends at Universal Windows Direct, and the weather is getting ready to change. We're going to start feeling a little more like fall, and that means winter is right around the corner. And this winter, make sure you stay warm in your own home. Keep that old, drafty, just plain, well, miserable feel out with our friends at Universal Windows Direct by upgrading your windows. And listen to the deal going on right now. You've been thinking about it. Now's the time to strike. 3 prongs to this incredible deal. Number 1, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. Then on top of that, 0% financing for 3 years. And last but certainly not least, $500 off your entire home improvement project. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. 0% financing for 3 years, no interest, no pressure. And $500 off your entire home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details and schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate, it's sort of like listening to this program. Totally free, no hassle, no obligation. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
This is unbelievably ridiculous. And it is proof of what we have been telling you for years on this program. Like, these people keep doing this stuff, and at some point you got to say, I've had enough. I don't care what your allegiance is or who you voted for. I mean, look, it's always the choice of the 2 horrible choices, 2 horrible picks. What Trump is doing with TikTok, it shows you our politics, our government is a real-life version of the Whose Line Is It Anyway television show where the game's made up and the rules don't matter and it's all glorified dinner theater and you are being used. Can you believe this?
Yeah, so Trump said that Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch are probably going to be in the group involved in the U.S. TikTok deal. The CEO of Fox.
All right, so let's start with this. This bizarre obsession about saving TikTok, where they are obsessed with saving this company. They, like the actual administration, has gone completely into the business of saving some private for-profit company. Very weird, giant red flag for me. Look, I don't agree with the law that they passed. I think if you know, Casey, because you use TikTok, that China's stealing all your stuff and you want to give it to them, hey, that's on you, right? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But you find value in the application itself. You know the risk. You're a consenting adult. You choose to do it.
It's interesting you say that because the value that I do find in it is probably going away.
Which explains.
As part of the deal. So do you remember, was it last weekend, 2 weekends ago, Tommy Robinson, the guy who was leading the march over in England?
Yep.
It was a march for their civil rights and their version of the First Amendment. I was following all of that on TikTok. And now this new deal, I think one of the things they're going to do is they're going to stop Americans from seeing other countries.
What's it called? It's called geofencing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So explain to people who many of our audience will know this, but you can set up these applications. You can set up parameters in which you can see who sees what. Obviously, the algorithms.
It's very much like sports gambling on your phone.
Yeah, bingo.
Some states allow it, some don't. And if you're near the state line, it's questionable whether you can do it or not.
Okay, so they passed this law that says China, you got to divest in TikTok. But we're not going to let you have TikTok. They've extended this. What are we on? Like extension number 5 or 6 now?
Yeah, I think maybe it's 4.
Okay,
but
whatever. It doesn't matter. And you have Trump, because I think he's pretty successful on TikTok, or at least his presence is successful on TikTok, has become obsessed with throwing the full weight of the American government behind saving a private, or what has been, for-profit company.
Yeah, well, I think that's twofold. One, because of the China thing that you mentioned, the information sharing, and also it's a billion-dollar industry. There's a lot of small businesses that make money on that app, and they don't want to see that to go away.
Oh, okay, but he's doing it. It's just like with the tariffs. Oh my gosh, the economy's struggling. You did it, buddy. Like the government did it. The government created this issue. But that isn't even the thing that's got me all worked up. It's that you mentioned he's bringing in Rupert Murdoch, allegedly.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, Daily Beast. Other people have, many outlets have written about this. I don't think that's in dispute that he's bringing Rupert Murdoch in as a part of this group that may buy TikTok. However, Donald Trump is currently essentially suing Rupert Murdoch for $10 billion because he's the owner of the Wall Street Journal. So on one hand, because it's related to them allegedly making up the Epstein birthday card that Trump signed. So on one hand, you're so enraged and you have have such disdain for this person and their behavior and their practices as a business person that you're suing them for $10 billion.
Well, that's because it was a personal attack of him.
But then on the other hand, you're like, hey, I definitely want you part of this thing that I think is basically like a national security issue that we had to make this law about TikTok, but I want you in this. Do you see why these two things?
Yeah, but don't you think that that's the mark of a good leader, putting your personal biases aside to get something done?
No, there is no way. If you thought someone, Casey, did something so offensive to you and was so offensive as a business person, had so little scruples or morals, take yourself out of the equation. If you thought the person had so little scruples, morals, vetting process, investigative criteria, etc., that they did something that's worth being sued for $10 billion, that then you're like this mega deal that's going to affect millions of people in the American population. Hey, man, come on in. I want you a part of this.
He needs somebody to front the money.
These two, but there's lots of rich people.
Well, Larry Ellison, who is an Oracle executive, and also Michael Dell from Dell Technologies, they're named as likely investors. Trump said that they were really great people and American patriots.
And I love, like, so the Daily Beast had like this what do they call that when you write the things that are actually being said, like the court reporter will do it, whatever that's, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
right?
The script of the conversation.
Right. And I like, can I just try to do it as I picture Trump saying this?
Sure.
It was Peter Doocy with Fox News, I think was who he was talking to. And Trump, we talk about this all the time, he'll get on some topic and then in his brain, he gets distracted. And so he just starts talking about something at length that doesn't really have anything to do with the thing that he's talking about. I hate to tell you this. A man named Lachlan is involved. You know who Lachlan is? That's a very unusual name. Lachlan Murdoch. Like, he's got to tell you, you won't know this, but Lachlan, that's a pretty unusual name.
Well, he's the CEO of the Fox Corporation.
Right, but we all know, like, the old man is the one everybody thinks of and is, you know, to some extent still calling the shots. And, this is, I mean, they just pulled the curtain back to show you who they are, that this is, you're just a member of the audience in a beef and board show at this point.
The White House says that 6 out of 7 board members will be controlling TikTok. Well, they'll be American.
Bill in the YouTube chat. Boy, that was horrible. I couldn't think of what that thing was called.
One of the big sticking points was the TikTok algorithm, and Oracle allegedly is going to manage all the data and privacy for U.S. users. But what's going to happen here, back to you won't be able to get other countries' feed in your feed, is that you'll be an American still doing it. Like, they'll just open up other accounts.
It's, like I said, it's whose line is it anyway, where the game's made up and the rules don't matter and you're all just pawns in other people's game.
Well, 1 in 3 people, Rob, don't have emergency savings.
Sure, that seems about right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do they do? Do they define what emergency savings is?
No, but 29 said that they couldn't afford any unexpected expense over $400. Take you and your refrigerator, for example.
Yeah.
You had an emergency saving, right, to be able to do that.
So, and this is what's fascinating, because they've tried to crack down on these payday lender people, right? The government, the state governments, the federal government. But think about that. If you don't have enough money to buy a refrigerator, where would you get that money?
Right.
And if you don't have enough
Credit card.
Yeah, if you don't have enough money to buy a refrigerator, well, no. I mean, I'm saying you'd have to go to a place like that, because chances are if you have that little amount of money in your savings account, you probably, many people are underwater on their credit cards too, right?
Yeah.
So who's going to give you the money for that? Well, those people. But they're not going to give it to you out of the goodness of their heart. You're a massive risk.
It'll have a huge interest rate.
Right. And instead of focusing on the things that matter, which is why are people doing so poorly financially? Is it the economy? Is it inflation? Is it a lack of financial literacy? Probably all three. Let's figure out how to fix that. No, they just go at the people who are like trying to help create some sort of solution. Now, of course, these people are, on the lending side, are trying to make as much money as they possibly can, but nobody has to go to them. You don't have to get the loan from those people. You could just do a better job with your finances, which most people could do. Let's be honest, Casey. Most people could do a better job with their finances. Now, does it mean they're going to end up like Elon Musk? No. But I guarantee if I went rummaging through your place of residence or your financial expenditures, if you are the person who doesn't have enough money to buy the refrigerator, I could probably find some things that go, what was that all about?
Some monthly expenses, some reoccurring ones.
They did that in The Office. Remember where they're going through all of Michael's expenses and all the things that he's buying and like these magic tricks, and he's, I can't possibly give this. Like most people, there's probably quite a few things you could find. So that's the financial literacy side of it. But it's also, we live in a country that spins itself into oblivion. So why wouldn't the citizens think they can
just follow suit?
Exactly the same. And we live in a country that has printed money to the point where everything is getting more unaffordable by the day. So all three of these things probably go into what you're describing.
This was a survey that was done by Empower, which is a retirement plan provider. They said 63% of people said the rising cost of living is making it harder to save, and 58% describe building emergency savings as almost impossible in today's economy. The biggest drivers of fear: a sluggish labor market, the rise of AI, and new tariffs introduced by the Trump administration. People feeling stressed out about finances. 50% say they're stressed about their current level of emergency savings.
All right, so we agreed the first thing that I was accused of being horrible was not horrible yesterday. But there was another thing I got the stink eye for.
You're out there making friends, aren't you?
And again, I don't think I did anything wrong, but I'm going to need you to clarify if I did something egregious, some sort of felonious crime against humanity. I will lay this out when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, producer Allison here. Big Monday Hammer and Nigel show with Monday Gun Day. Michael Paul Hart stops by before his big council vote, and, of course, Moonshine Monday. The fun starts at 3 o'clock here on 93 WIBC.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Judy loves her fall in Indy, but she doesn't like the paint, so she called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The Home and Garden Show hits the road again this week, and they're headed to the Atlanta New Earth Festival in Atlanta, Indiana. Join Pat Denny and the gang this Saturday from 9 till 1 in the center of Atlanta, just 7 miles north of Cicero and Morse Reservoir.
Out on the streets. Okay. Since I've been cleared in the first allegation of some egregious action against decent society, I'm going to see if you'll clear me on the second one.
Okay.
It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. All right. So, again, being a horrible human being in that one person's eyes, I did miss part of the Charlie Kirk funeral in real time to go to the store to buy stuff for my toddler child.
Okay.
So I did put
you went shopping, huh?
I did put my two-year-old ahead of seeing every second of Trump's speech at the Charlie Kirk funeral, which I know was some horrible sin against all things decent and good. But so I'm going to the Walmart. And you know, at the Walmart, they got the arrows pointing different ways.
Yeah.
You know, this way you go down, this way you come back. Well, there's certain aisleways that are larger where they've got the arrows both ways, which you can do either one. So I'm like, okay, very good. I'm going to go down this one. And
it's normally the main center one.
Yeah. I guess this would have been. So I'm driving down the one with the two arrows, right? I'm clearly going the correct way. And in fact, this was actually as I was driving over the arrow pointing the way in which I'm going. And there's this guy walking the other way with his car. Now, he had a woman with him. I'm presuming it was a wife or something at some point. And I can see him from the distance. Like, he's coming out of the store. I'm driving towards the store. Again, driving in the correct lane, literally driving right over the arrow, pointing me in the direction I'm supposed to go. And he's, like, staring at me. I can see him because, I have the 20/10 vision.
Sure.
I can see him from the distance, like, with a perplexed look on his face. staring at me as I'm driving towards him at a very low, appropriate rate of speed. It's not like I'm going 50 down
smart,
trying to find a parking spot,
being cautious.
And he's like got this exasperated, like confused look on his face, and his mouth just keeps getting like almost like wider open as I'm moving towards him, and I've got my window rolled down, and I can hear him say to his partner something to the effect of like, "What the heck is that guy doing?"
Was he in the same lane as you? Like, you were about to have a head-on collision?
No, he was walking down the correct path the other way.
And you were driving down the right path.
And, like, I'm just looking at him the whole time because I could, like, it's like, what, are there turds hanging out of my mouth? What is going on here?
Maybe he was making fun of your car.
Well, and then I thought maybe I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, but then there's the arrow that is still pointing me in the correct direction. And I thought, well, maybe he wants to get over. However, he's making no indication. Like, sometimes you'll walk down the wrong aisle and go, oh, man, I got to get crossover. He's doing nothing that would indicate, like, he's not moving his cart. He's not signaling with the hand. He's not stopping. There's nothing that would say, oh, my gosh, I'm in the wrong direction. I'm in the wrong side. I got to get over, which I would have gladly let the guy over. No problem whatsoever. If he'd have been positioning his cart, you know me, I always try to let people out of the crowded gas station or whatever. I don't know what the hell I did, Casey, that warranted that sort of response.
That is interesting. He actually said, what is that guy doing? You were driving. You were finding a parking spot.
Right.
Yeah, and you weren't speeding through.
No.
You weren't in a hurry. You weren't hangry to get in there and get your stuff.
I came to get some
Maybe
juice
he
and
was
strawberries.
Confused and thought it was just a one-way.
Maybe that's the thing I've come to is maybe he did, or I don't know if he thinks he has some entitlement without giving any indication whatsoever. He wants to get across the lane that I'm supposed to just stop as I see him.
Was the blinker on his cart broken?
Like, unless you're intending to just dart in front of my automobile, I'm pretty sure you with all your extremities functioning as an adult, you're pushing this car, you know and are capable of avoiding my automobile. I don't think I have to stop for you, so I can't fathom what I did or was supposed to be doing.
Maybe he caught you watching him out of caution and safety, but he thought you were eyeballing him for some reason.
Now, this guy, this is what was interesting from this.
What's this guy staring at me for?
What's the Tom Hanks movie where he's on the boat?
Castaway.
Castaway.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, the one where the guy, I'm the captain of the ship now.
Which movie? I don't know what
you
movie.
You know, where the pirates, they take over the ship, and the guy goes, I'm the captain of the ship now.
I don't know which
you
one
have
you're
no
talking.
idea. Caleb, do you know what I'm talking about? What is this movie?
I think so. It's Captain Phillips is what I just looked up and saw.
You've never seen this movie?
No.
Tom Hanks, right? Yeah, he gets his ship taken over by a bunch of pirates.
Okay.
And there's a famous meme, nothing, you've never seen
No.
this? The guy looking at him going, you see me, I'm the captain of the ship now? Well, this doesn't even work. That's exactly what the guy looked like. I thought he was going to point at me and go, you see this? I'm the captain of this aisleway now. I'm the captain of this Walmart now. I was just waiting for that, and now that doesn't even work with you. How have you never seen that movie or that
I've never
meme or anything?
seen that one, but, I got a lot of questions that have nothing to do with the guy in the parking lot. These are my questions for you, Rob.
We got about 30 seconds, so you better rapid fire.
Do you park next to the corral or far away? What were you buying at Walmart? When you go to Walmart, is it self-checkout? Maybe that guy was just paranoid. Did you do a threat assessment of the entire parking lot?
I do the self-checkout.
That's the one you're going to answer.
It's the only one I can remember. Okay, when we come back, we'll do a lot more at the Charlie Kirk funeral. Plus, the Republicans have banned me because they're so worried. I'm going to ask Diego Morales who paid for India again.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Guys, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, your TRT MVPs.
Book a free TRT consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets, and more. Female patients, you can win too. Book at trtmvp.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at boerremodeling.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, some arrests have been made in recent shootings across Indianapolis. You'll hear what the police are saying about them. A decision for the Indianapolis City County Council tonight. You'll hear what that's all about. And a message from one Hoosier business on health. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
He calls it one of the most important news conferences he'll ever have. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, touting what President Trump says is a major medical breakthrough on causes of autism.
So we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it.
He said that last night at the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports Tylenol's under scrutiny.
Researchers at Mount Sinai found children exposed to acetaminophen during pregnancy may be more likely to develop neurodevelopmental disorders like autism and ADHD. But another study from the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2024 concluded the opposite, stating using the drug while pregnant was not associated with an increased risk of autism. Ken View, the owner of Tylenol, says in a statement statement, "We believe independent sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism."
Back to the president, who was among tens of thousands paying tribute to Charlie Kirk at a football stadium in Glendale, Arizona, 11 days after the assassination.
Charlie's murder was not just an attack on one man or one movement. It was an attack on our entire nation.
Kirk's widow, Erica, tearfully forgave the suspected gunman who's charged with murder. The man charged in the second Trump assassination attempt last year back in federal court in Florida this morning. Ryan Ruth, defending himself, plans to call 3 witnesses after the prosecution rested its case last week. Later today, President Trump will go to the United Nations, where tomorrow he'll address the General Assembly. And Israel's under more pressure there as the war in Gaza rages.
151 of the 193 UN member states recognize the state of Palestine, and that includes the nations of close U.S. allies, including, as of yesterday, Britain, Canada, and Australia, officially recognizing the state of Palestine.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the UN in New York. Israel's prime minister strongly opposes that recognition, calling it a reward for terrorism. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They could increase as time goes on. You've got rain on radar moving all throughout central Indiana. 68 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. In fact, just about all of Indiana will get rain at some point throughout this week.
It's not impossible to see an isolated strong storm, but majority, if not all of these storms, should be just of the general thunderstorm variety.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says high temperatures will also be at least 10 degrees cooler this week than a week ago. 2 arrests have been made in shootings that happened in Indianapolis this past weekend. IMPD saying this morning that they arrested Brian Edwards for a shooting that happened Saturday night. He's charged with attempted murder and battery on a public safety officer. Another man named Carlos Contreras was arrested in a shooting from Georgetown Road. Victoria Holmes lives in Indianapolis. She's seen people get violent near where she both works and lives. She tells Wish TV she has some advice for anyone out there who's thinking about becoming violent or aggressive.
It's not worth it killing these people and just to prove a point or just to make yourself look tough or whatever the case may be.
Indianapolis City County Council Majority Leader Maggie Lewis says that it's time for the city to heal and come together while also trying to prevent any more senseless violence from happening. The council is also supposed to make the final vote on whether to rezone 468 acres of farmland in Franklin Township for a $1 billion Google data center this evening. 17 counselors have publicly stated their intention to vote against rezoning. That meeting begins at 7 o'clock tonight. And a business focusing on women's health is now in Brownsburg and Greenwood. Johnette Cruz reports.
And so one thing that I think it's important for women to understand is that look at the textbook. At age 35, your progesterone starts reducing.
Co-owner Ashley Regal of Total Body Wellness.
Women 35 to 45 are at the highest risk for hysterectomies, ablations, changes with a lot of, just not a lot of guidance on how to handle those changes.
The Total Body Wellness team combines conventional and functional medicine to address the root causes of health issues by considering genetics, your environment, and lifestyle. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 10:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
At Andy Moore Ford, you're going to get more. Much, much more. With the Get More Guarantee, you always get more savings, more selection, and more for your trade. Buy your vehicle 100% online. Just go to Andy Moore, M-O-H-R, AndyMooreFord.com, and Andy Moore will deliver that car right to your door. Drive off in a new Ford F-150 XL truck for under $40,000 with over 100 vehicles to choose from. And if you rely on commercial trucks for your business, you have to check out Andy Moore Ford. The whole commercial center they've built to make sure your Ford truck or van fits your business needs is absolutely incredible. From medium to heavy duty F-Series trucks. And they've got the biggest selection of Super Duty trucks in the state. Over 175 Super Duty trucks on the ground and ready to work for you. Talk to Andy Moore Ford, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, yeah, we will get to the Republicans banning me from their event here in just a few minutes. But I had a fascinating conversation with somebody out in the hall that I thought really sort of put into perspective what's going on in our country right now. Whether it's Kendall Casey show, Rob, that's Casey. Yesterday was the Charlie Kirk funeral, and now again, full disclosure, even though I was yelled at on social media, I did not watch any of it live. I did go back and watch, because they have this thing called the internet now, Casey. I don't know if you're aware of it, where people will just do clips for you.
Yes.
And then you can just see the highlights. It's like being able to watch a 3-hour football game in 20 minutes.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And you see all the important things and all the big clips, and it's not to demean any of the speakers. I'm sure they were all wonderful, but let's face it, you have a life to live, and even though some person was mad at me that I was living my life, I think most people would believe it was appropriate if you wanted to take a few hours to watch the Colts game or the Bears game or whatever. But I was talking to, there's just obviously the level of political violence totally out of control in this country. The level of, trying to do harm to other people, totally unacceptable. And then there's the other side of it, though, too, where people are yelling at me that I'm tweeting or not watching all 5 hours of the Charlie Kirk funeral. And this person said to me, and I thought it was a great point, they said, look, between 1975 and 1995, the country was pretty cool and calm. Now, it doesn't mean everything was great. Obviously, you had inflation, you had gas lines. I'm not saying that, everything was rosy in terms of the conditions on the ground. But what the person was saying, I thought this is a pretty astute observation, weren't involved in any, wars. There were some military engagements, but no Vietnam, no Iraq, nothing like that. You had sort of a sense of the country coming back together. It doesn't mean everybody got along on everything, but sort of people fitting into their sense of community, and certain people won elections and certain people lost. But it just, the country, by and large, was by previous experiences or future experiences, a relatively peaceful place. And I said, well, why do you think that was? The person said, absolutely, without a doubt, the rise of the internet.
Sure.
Sort of from Timothy McVeigh on, it's been relative.
Oklahoma City bombing.
Right. One, it's not immediately after each other, but you can sort of, spread it out. One chaotic thing, one tragic thing, one horrible thing after another. And this person said, and it's what we've talked about on the show, they said, and this is not a person that's on our radio station that said this, they said, without a doubt, the chaos that the internet has created has emboldened people who otherwise, even if they thought that things, would have never said them out loud. They would have just facilitated, kept their mouth shut, and facilitated into decent society.
Sure. But now you've got these fringe elements, and they're being validated within their internet community.
Yeah. No, you're 100% correct. And the problem is, it's almost like fighting a war. And, you think about the Iraq War. Hey, in 3 days, we're into Baghdad, right? And we, it took a while to find Saddam Hussein, but we essentially won the war. The problem is then you had all these maniacs that aren't fighting by traditional methods that you had to deal with for the next decade. Same thing Russia ran into with Ukraine. Hey, we're steamrolling in. Oops, now there's a bunch of trench warfare people that don't play by the rules of military engagement. And that's sort of like when you look at this guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk, if he would have asked any remotely decent or good, mainstream Democrat political person or whatever, they would have said absolutely not. Even if they wanted to see Charlie Kirk killed, because don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are many people who did, but from a pure politics standpoint, they would have been like, that is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Well, you said fighting a war. Don't you feel like that's part of what the Trump administration was saying yesterday, that we are fighting a war between good versus evil, and it was their effort to make Jesus Christ mainstream?
And I think that's wonderful that they did that yesterday. And if that is the goal of what they're talking about, you're of awaken people like never before, I think that's wonderful. I'm not hearing that spelled out. We talked about this to start the show, that, hey, you've awakened people like never before. To what? To just elect more Republicans? Well, how has that worked out? How many times have Republicans had control of all of the government? How did life get any better? If you're saying I have awakened people like never before for a spiritual revolution, putting Jesus Christ first and our Lord and Savior first, okay, but they just keep saying you've awakened people like never before, but not
to what end?
But not to what? If you simply think putting a bunch of Jefferson Shreve type people in midterm elections is going to fix this country, you're going to be sorely mistaken, because how many times have we done that? And we have a track record of this. If you look at the Tea Party movement, where there was so much energy, so much enthusiasm in 2010, by like 2013, 2014, it had really trailed off to where now it's sort of non-existent anymore, because people, if they don't get results, they just lose interest. And they also figure out work is hard. Like for these people who are starting these turning point chapters, God bless them. But they're going to figure out, these college kids, hey, I kind of wanted to go to that party on Friday, but now I got to do this turning point event. And, oh, man, I wanted to go to this game, but, oh, man, I got a turning point meeting. And it's true, not the people who organize it, but also the people who go. The thing's fresh. It's new. You're angry about Charlie Kirk's assassination, which everyone should be. So you're motivated. But 6 months from now,
will they remain motivated?
Hey, my girlfriend's kind of nagging at me that she wants me to go to this, formal event or whatever, right? And I'm not in any way demeaning those people. It's human instinct. I've seen it happen so many times in political movements. Unless you define what it is and a way to keep people engaged, and look, I don't mean to be crass when I say this. You have to have some reward for people for the engagement. It's like any other venture in your life. There has to be some giant carrot, and simply saying, hey, we're going to elect a bunch more Jefferson Shreves or Aaron Houchins. I'm sorry, after one election and nothing changes, that ain't going to do it for people.
Well, that is interesting, because it was politics and religion all in one. I believe the message yesterday, the carrot, was the salvation of your soul at the end of the day, and also a better country to live in.
And look, the salvation stuff is wonderful. I totally agree. And it seems like I've seen a bunch of people who've gone to church for the first time or the first time in a long time. I think that's phenomenal. But a better country, how? Because you still have the same corrupt, unethical, quite frankly, evil people in many cases running everything. John Thune is still going to run the Senate. Mike Johnson still going to run the Senate. Or the House. You're still going to have the same people in leadership. You're going to still have the same group of donors telling these people what to do. Just electing a bunch of rank and file Republicans who will do whatever they're told to do isn't going to change anything. The Republicans are just as responsible as the Democrats for getting us into this mess. So I think the idea of a revolution in the country, or an awakening, or whatever you want to call it, is phenomenal. But how does it simply make anything better? And if we're equating better to Republicans, I resoundingly reject that.
But have you ever seen an administration as well represented as they were yesterday, and all on the same page, preaching the gospel like that openly in front of thousands of people?
That's great, Casey. I feel like we're going in circles here.
Yeah.
I keep telling you the same thing. If you're saying we're going to awaken people like never before, it's going to be Billy Graham times 1,000. Phenomenal. Sign me up for that. I'm great with that. If that's what we're doing here, fine. Say it out loud, because people need to hear that. 100% fine with that. But don't tell me you're going to awaken like never before for some sort of political operation or apparatus, because I've seen this before. I've seen how it works. I've seen people get used. We're going to talk about that coming up at 10:30. These parties are social clubs, and the social club exists to do the bidding of the donor who funds the social club. And unless you're going to break that, then nothing's going to change in this country, and I don't hear anybody talking about that.
You don't think they'll move forward governing in a different...
No! Charlie Kirk was here for all of this. What did they do? What is the signature bill of the Republicans? A mass legalized vote buying giveaway that adds trillions of dollars to our nation's debt. That's who these people are. That's who the leadership is, because they're a social club who rewards the donors who fund the social club.
Well, Donald Trump, he called Charlie Kirk one of America's greatest patriots and also a great American hero. He went on to say that Kirk's murder was an attack on the entire nation.
Every single American should take a long, hard look at the twisted soul and dark spirit of anyone who would want to kill a young man as good as Charlie. To kill anybody, but to kill a man like this, he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. Our country didn't deserve this. And anyone who would make excuses for it are just out of their mind. Charlie's murder was not just an attack on one man or one movement. It was an attack on our entire nation. That was a horrible attack on the United States of America. It was an assault on our most sacred liberties and God-given rights. The gun was pointed at him, but the bullet was aimed at all of us. That bullet was aimed at every one of us.
So what you're asking is, how will legislation actually be written to save the soul of the nation, if that's the goal?
I heard that exact same speech as a high school senior after 9/11. I heard that exact speech. They didn't just come for the people of New York. They came for all of us. Yeah! And then what was the fallout of that? A weaponization by the Bush administration. Hey, if you object to anything we do, you're anti-American. If you object to the Iraq war, well, then you're just not a patriot, buddy. Hey, but I don't think Saddam Hussein had anything. Hey, you look, the Dixie Chicks or any of these people, right? Politicians always, because at their core, so many of them are rotten, horrible people, will always weaponize. What was the Rahm Emanuel quote? Never let a tragedy go to waste. And people better be very vigilant, because what the establishment, the order, the law and order, for lack of a better term, what these parties do is they use your emotion. They use your good heart. They use your want of a better country. Many of these people don't want a better country. They're fine with the things the way they are, because the way that things are puts them at the tippy top of the ladder. And I am so afraid this is going to happen again, where they are going to manipulate and mobilize all of these people, just like the Tea Party was manipulated and mobilized. Hey, just put us in there. Hey, we know we've lied to you about it for 20 years, but we got the memo this time. And they're going to use this great person, his horrible assassination, to just further the same crap in this country. And I just don't want to see good people go through it.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Things we did as kids that would emotionally destroy the kids of today.
Dodgeball in gym class. I went to Tri West. I was terrified back in the early 90s.
I was one of those guys that was throwing it as hard as I could at people.
Nonstop bullying was normal and tolerated, and teachers didn't give a crap about it. The advice was like, just try to ignore it.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
98 years of quality and comfort with Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Since 1927, our family-owned store has been your trusted source for top brands like Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Tempur-Pedic, and Smith Brothers. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and right now, during our 98th anniversary sale, save up to 50% off on furniture and mattresses, plus free delivery, interest-free financing, and extra discounts for cash. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week, and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Hold the onions. For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
guess I'm no longer allowed at Republican Party functions because I asked the Secretary of State who paid for his trip to India. We'll get to that in a second. But but first, what is this thing you're telling me about with the young people?
Younger Americans, they're turning to co-buying to be able to afford homes. Co-buying. So the median age of a U.S. home buyer right now is 56 years old. So younger generations, they're exploring an alternative path to home ownership, and it is called co-buying. It's where you buy a house with your friends or your non-romantic partner.
Oh, it's non-romantic partner.
Non-romantic.
Okay, not just you're not married. It's you're not no one is seeing each other in the nude, is what you're telling me.
Right. It's a group of friends.
Okay, so I guess at the top of my head, this seems like a horrible idea, but I understand why people are doing this. However, I wonder, I had this conversation, I forget who was having it with somebody the other day about this, that I don't know now with interest rates and housing prices if it is indeed a better deal to buy a house than rent one. I don't know. I mean, I know, like, I got in at the low end, like right before the interest rates started skyrocketing. So I know now there's no way I could rent my house for anywhere near what I'm paying for it. So I'm essentially stuck. There's no way I could buy a house. There's no way I could rent a house. Like I'm stuck. But if you're someone who's trying to get in the game now, is it actually a better deal when all the pitfalls of home ownership, like your refrigerator goes out, or whatever else might be going on?
All the other costs involved, your property taxes, your insurance.
Right. Like, I do wonder now if Pete the Planner did a segment on this. Was years ago. This was probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago that Pete the Planner, who you can still hear weekends here on WIBC, did a segment on this. And he sort of debunked the whole home ownership is some great thing. He kind of did a math equation on how much the upgrades of a home cost that you wouldn't have to pay for. And obviously depends on the house you're in and the way your lease is set up. But he really did a good job. Like I said, this is 10 years ago when stuff was way more affordable. Houses were way more affordable, of debunking that whole, hey, it's ironclad, you need to be in the home ownership game. And so I wonder now, especially if you got to get to the hassle of, hey, I got to have 4 people in on the mortgage with me, the chaos that could potentially create, if that is a good approach.
So 15% of Americans are co-bought. The home is co-bought. So 15% of people have done this. 70% of Gen Z said they'd be willing to try it. But let's talk about some of the benefits, right? You can afford a bigger and maybe better home sooner by pooling all your financial resources. Easier mortgage qualification with multiple incomes, right? You can split the costs, not only mortgage payments, but also the taxes and the maintenance. And if you're close to the people that you're co-buying with, well, you just get extra quality time with your buds there. That's just a little bonus.
How do you get out of it, though?
Well, that's one of the risks, right? You've got some lenders or agents, they're not going to work with this non-traditional group. You've got the shared debt risk. If somebody defaults, the others are on the hook for it, right? So you go into it with your friend. You could walk away being enemies because of it. And there's also the potential for conflict, right? You have to make sure that the expectations are really clear.
But look at all these things you're laying out. Why would any person possibly open themselves up to that?
If they want a house, a big,
But you can rent a
house.
You could take those same 4 people and go, look, we're going to try this out for a year. We're going to live together for a year. We're going to rent a house. Now, you would pay more, probably. But like I said, I don't even know how much more it is anymore. I mean, I see homes in my area that are they're a little smaller than mine, but they're renting for between $1,200 and $1,500. And while it's more, it's not the risk you run. Now, again, it's a smaller house, not as nice a house, etc. But is it? In a year, you can leave. Hey, it didn't work out between us.
Right.
We're not friends anymore.
Right, you co-buy a house. You're locked in.
Fred stole my girlfriend, or whatever, right? We're out of here. That seems like I'm sure some people it's working out great for them for now.
What about building equity, though?
But again, okay, you're building some, but what risk? Like how long? So my refrigerator cost me whatever it was, $800. How many mortgage payments was that to build up the equity, right? Was that worth it? I don't know. But anyway, sounds like a huge risk. I am out. One thing I guess I'm also out of is the Republican events. I've been told
No, thank you. You've been uninvited.
No el welcome-o.
Mhm.
I'll tell you all about it next.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
When it comes to your home, it's important to sell it to someone you can trust. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
I'm excited to start the new chapter of my life. I'm going to be moving 2 states away to be with my husband. Ronnie came out to do my walkthrough. It was great. We had a chance to talk about the house. We had a chance to listen to what my goals were, and they helped me to meet them. Then I had the offer, I believe, within 2 hours of them coming through and doing the walkthrough. Simple Quarters never tried to change their offer at any point during the process. Once they gave me that offer, it stood. The offer was absolutely fair. They did explain to me how they came to that price, and it was a fair offer. The best part about this process is I didn't have to make any repairs to the house. Simple Quarters has taken it as is, which is a huge stress relief. It just couldn't have worked out better. It really couldn't have.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hey guys, it's Rob. You know, we've been talking a lot today about how Charlie Kirk impacted young people. And one of the things, as we said, was obvious yesterday at that tribute to Charlie Kirk, his memorial service, was that they were putting the Lord first. And we're seeing this with young people, even before Charlie Kirk's tragic death, but now certainly after, that young people are interested, Gen Zs, knowing the Lord like never before. That's why Life Church, the Next Gen team, is putting on their annual event for teenagers in grades 6 through 12 to talk about what's true and how to know. It's the 4th annual Truth Conference. It's a weekend for teens that has 3 main sessions, live worship, and breakout sessions where they can ask tough questions about God. Learn more about all of this and register online at lifechurchin.com.
Are you ready for retirement or just hoping for the best? At Wise Money Radio, we bring you the strategies, stories, and straight talk you need to make your money work smarter so you can live wiser. From taxes and healthcare costs to Social Security and income planning, we cut through the noise to give you the clarity you deserve. Listen to Wise Money Radio with Joe Wilson of Omega Wealth Private Capital, Saturday mornings at 5 right here on 93.1 WIBC.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Get there before the truck is gone.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A week to keep your eye on the sky. Rain falling all throughout both central and southern Indiana right now. It's also cloudy and 67 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:30. In fact, showers and thunderstorms are possible nearly every day this week across Indiana.
And with the rain, too, given the fact that we're having multiple episodes of rain showers over the next few days, if something does happen to go over the same place over and over again, we could see a localized flood threat. But other than that, not too many hazards.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the rain will likely be heaviest in the southern part of the state. President Trump says he's going to make an announcement about autism today at the White House. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has already established a task force this year in an effort to find the causes of autism. Today, Las Vegas is starting its first ever fabulous 5-day sale. There'll be hundreds of special deals available on resorts, entertainment, and food. It's their latest tactic, trying to get visitors back to Sin City, which has been in a tourism slump. The number of visitors is down more than 11% compared to this time last year. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Any heating and air conditioning problem you've got, we can take care of you. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Well, just call me Pete Rose, Casey, because I'm banned.
I guess so. What is going on?
Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. It's Casey. So think about how the Republicans, well, in this case, at least the Hendricks County Republicans, are admitting how corrupt, unethical, and dishonest some of their office holders are, Diego Morales, that they are so afraid of these guys getting asked any questions in public because they saw what happened with Diego Morales, the Indiana Secretary of State, when I confronted him in a very peaceful, polite manner in front of, all the people there. No one accused anybody of any sort of dangerous or felonious activity. Just simply having the conversation with Diego Morales, who paid for your trip to India, and calling out his bull crap caused him to have a complete meltdown to the point that he was so frazzled when he got up to give his speech after we were done, he started shouting, I paid for India! I paid for India! And they are so we talked about this last week, that a couple of months ago, I was invited to go to the Hendricks County Lincoln Day by, I have a good friend who is an aspiring, he's going to run for office next year. He's never run before, but he's interested in getting involved. And he comes to some of the town council meetings in Brownsburg, and we've kind of struck up a friendship. And he said, hey, would you be interested in going to this thing with me? And I said, I'm not sure you really want that. And he said, no, I really do. And, I told him, look, here's what you're dealing with when I go to these things. I'm not going to do anything that, is going to put me on a wanted poster or a post office up in the post office. But if I see these people, these politicians, as I did in Clay County, as a taxpayer, I will engage them and ask them questions, which is what we should want. No, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's cool. I said, I don't think the Republicans are going to think that's fine or cool. So wouldn't you know, I think it was later that day, maybe, the head of the Republican Party in Hendricks County called me. Phil Clay is the guy's name. I'll say his name. I don't care. Yeah. And we had a nice little chat. He's very concerned. Like,
about what?
He wouldn't say it. Because he couldn't say it. He's concerned because he knows what a bunch of corrupt frauds people like Diego Morales are, and he doesn't want it happening at his Lincoln Day. So Phil Clay, let's point out who Phil Clay is. Phil Clay is now the head of the Indiana Civil Rights Commission. Jose Evans resigned under a cloud of scandal, and Phil Clay was put in by Governor Braun as the head of the Indiana Civil Rights Commission. So he's got a great, cushy government job now. Now, I don't think he had that job at the time, but, and by the way, Case, let's talk about Phil Clay for a second. Phil Clay's been on our show before. I have shared the link of when Phil Clay had a column that he wanted promoted. He came on our show. So, hypocrisy here. Yeah. Big concerns about me being at their Lincoln Day, but when
he'll use the airwaves to his
advantage. When he wanted something, he was more than willing. No concerns about Kendall and Casey when he wanted access to our massive audience, but me showing up at a Lincoln Day. So we had a nice conversation. Everything was good. And I think I told you at the time, I said, I guarantee, because you were like, you should tell everybody. I said, no. I'm going to wait till about a week before the thing and tell everybody I'm going to go, because I guarantee that they will make my friend, they will bully him, they will threaten him into pulling that invite.
Because what's going to happen if he continues to let you go? Like what? They're not going to give him support in his campaign?
Well, I'm sure they told him because Phil Clay sees himself or is or whatever a rising star in the Republican Party in Hendricks County, and he doesn't want to upset the apple cart. And I knew when he got that job with Braun, I said, that's it. They're going to pull this invite if I remind them that I'm coming. So I deliberately last week said, hey, I'm coming to the Lincoln Day. I told him I intend on asking Diego Morales who paid for his trip to India. Everybody knows he didn't pay for it. Everybody knows there's a reason he loses his mind whenever you ask him, because something rotten took place with that, and he don't want you to know about it. Also, if I see Micah, I'll ask him to tell a coherent, consistent story about how he ended up at Game 3 of the NBA Finals with a high-profile known felon who went down for bribery charges. And I knew, because I would ask Craig Haggard, why'd you lie to our audience about redistricting? Do any of those things sound ridiculous? Are they outside the mainstream? Or are those things that any person, be you Republican or not, Casey, should want to know?
Yeah, he's saying, not at my Lincoln Day dinner, you don't.
So when I made that announcement, my good friend messaged me. Well, he called me and I said, oh, this thing gonna be good, because we never call each other. And he said, oh, I've been getting an earful from these guys about that. About what? About what? That I'm going to ask Diego Morales as a taxpayer of the state of Indiana who paid for your trip to India, and I want to see if he melts down again? Like, hey, Casey, ask me who paid for my trip to Walmart yesterday.
Rob, who paid for your trip to Walmart yesterday?
Me, and I still have the receipt. See how easy that was?
Yes.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to ask who paid for your trip to a foreign country and what you did there. But they don't want that. So I said, look, you got to do whatever you want to do, but yeah, I'm not ceding any ground on this, because I don't think it's wrong. I'm a Republican. I've voted in every Republican primary since 2010. I was an elected Republican. I know and adhere to the Republican Party platform better than any person probably in this state, or certainly in the top 99.9%. And if those guys want to be mad at me for calling out Republicans who do ridiculous stuff, or like Todd Young, who had 16-ish trillion to the nation's debt, if I'm the bad guy in that equation for calling them out, then so be it.
Okay, so do you know who is scheduled to speak at the Hendricks County Lincoln Day?
Jim Jordan is going to be the featured speaker. I did say I've seen him speak before. It was
representative from Ohio.
That's right. Yes, he was a Freedom Caucus person, I think. I don't know if he still is. I've seen him speak before in Hamilton County. When I guess I don't know if I'm banned from there or not, but it was fine. It was kind of boring, but whatever.
So do you know, is Diego Morales going to be at this one?
I was told a lot of the rowdy friends are going to be there. Well, but I don't know for sure. I bet he will be now. My point in all this is, so then he calls me back and he goes, yeah, they're really breathing down my neck. And I said, look, got to do what you got to do. And this guy, I give him credit. He could have gone, but he said, if Rob can't go, I ain't going either.
So he's not going either.
And he got a refund back for his tickets.
Okay. Well, that shows some conviction.
Yeah, doing the right thing.
I thought for sure you were going to say, so he's going without me.
No.
Because he wants to be in the good graces of the party to potentially win his election.
But think about when you go to these events, when you give to this party, this is who you're giving to. A group of people who the leadership knows. These elected officials. You know what they also didn't want is they didn't want everybody looking at me. They didn't want all the attention being, what's Rob going to do? Who's Rob going to talk to? Who's Rob? They're so afraid of the question itself. They're so afraid because Diego can't answer who paid for India. He can't show you proof that he paid it back. They're so afraid of Micah getting confronted about the high-profile known felon because he can't tell a coherent, consistent story. They're so afraid of Craig Haggard getting asked, why'd you lie to our audience? That they'll just shut you up rather than let the question be asked. That's the Republican Party. Shut the guy up instead of let him ask the question, despite me doing all the things. I mean, I'm eligible to run for public office as a Republican. I voted in all the Republican primaries. I was an elected person. I was a precinct committeeman. I adhere to the party platform. That's who our Republican Party is in the state of Indiana now.
And isn't this interesting? Because this just goes directly against everything that Charlie Kirk was standing for. Give him a microphone instead. Let's have a dialogue.
Yeah, so then it started this is hilarious how this goes. Then it started a back and forth on whether I'm actually a Republican in good standing.
Yeah, so you've got Jerry Lopez questioning that, WIBC's Indy Spanglish, right? He said the term Republican, actually not him, but Rule 125.
Yes, because I'm sure Jerry's really up on his party platforms. And by the way, Jerry's going to come on tomorrow. Jerry told me
Is he?
Well, he thought it was
I found that out from the internet, even though I'm the one who puts the show together.
Well, look, Jerry's not a seasoned pro. He doesn't know when you book a guest, you let people talk, and he really wants to be on our show. And I think that's great that Jerry knows all the attention we bring and all the eyes and all the ears. And so he desperately wanted to tell people. Very unprofessional to not let me tell you first and get it cleared. But Jerry's very adamant that I guess I'm not a Republican in good standing. And I guess he's going to come on tomorrow and say that unless you support Diego Morales and Todd Young and Eric Holcomb, you're a bad Republican. So I guess there's hundreds of thousands of our listeners out there who are bad Republicans. And I can't wait for tomorrow for Jerry to tell all of you here in WIBC listener land that you're a bad Republican because you call out Diego Morales, because you don't tolerate politicians lying to you, because you want to know how the number 2 guy in the state of Indiana ended up accepting a lavish gift from a high-profile known felon. I can't wait for that tomorrow, Casey.
Rule 1-25, the term Republican in good standing shall be defined as a Republican who supports Republican nominees and who does not actively or openly support another candidate against a Republican nominee. Well, that seems pretty heavy-handed, right?
So I want Jerry to say this tomorrow, that if you're a person who voted for Donald Rainwater and the hundreds of thousands of Republicans who crossed over to vote for Donald Rainwater because Eric Holcomb wasn't behaving like a Republican, I want Jerry Lopez to say tomorrow that if you stand up against 1 million people being put out of work, if you stand up against tens of thousands of people losing their businesses, if you stand up against $16 trillion of debt, or some guy who disappears to a foreign country and won't tell you who paid for it or how he got there, or his buddy has a mysterious $80,000 contract, I want Jerry Lopez to tell the entire city of Indianapolis and all of central Indiana, you're a bad Republican. Don't come to our club meetings anymore. Don't give to the party anymore. We don't want you anymore. I can't wait for that. Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. He said you've met your match, brother. Nothing but love. We'll see if you guys are going to hug it out afterwards tomorrow. What time's he coming in? Don't know.
Well,
details to be determined.
We're working around his schedule.
Gotcha.
Because I think he's got to work tomorrow, so we tried to work around his schedule. So we'll tell you when it's going to air tomorrow. Look, don't you find that fascinating though, that in all these fundraising letters, because I still get the letters from people. At no point has anybody stopped sending me the letters asking me for money. If I'm such a Republican in bad standing,
your money, they don't need that.
Why wouldn't somebody be like, stop sending this guy letters? He's a Republican in bad standing.
They want your money though. That's for sure.
The absolutism of these people is gross.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, producer Allison here. Big Monday Hammer and Nigel show with Monday Gun Day. Michael Paul Hart stops by before his big council vote, and, of course, Moonshine Monday. The fun starts at 3 o'clock here on 93 WIBC.
The kids are heading back to school, and let's be honest, you're finally getting the house to yourself again, which makes now the perfect time to take care of that roof, siding, or gutters you've been putting off. And Moss Roofing is here to help. Moss Roofing has been helping Central Indiana homeowners for 34 years. They're family-owned, locally rooted, and known for doing things right every shingle time. Free inspections, honest advice, and top-quality work on roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. They treat your home like it's their own, and they clean up like they were never there. That's why they've got great reviews and a loyal following of happy homeowners. So don't put it off any longer. Let Moss Roofing check your roof, your siding, and your gutters to make sure they're ready for the winter ahead. For your free inspection, call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, MOSS, mossroofing.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for one great Hoosier. I bet he gets invited to all the parties. Mark Deedle. Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with the guy who's never banned from anything, Mark Deedle. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Sarah in Fountain Square had to say about working with Mark Deedle. After investing in a property in Fountain Square, I ran into some financial trouble and needed to sell the place fast for max dollars. I hired the Mark Deedle team, and they were able to sell my property within weeks for over list price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle, 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L.com.
Central Indiana, get ready. On Saturday, September 27th from 10 till 2, it's back. The second annual Smoke in the Ville Egg Fest at Builders Lumber and Hardware, and this year is bigger than ever. Picture smoke in the air, food sizzling on the big green egg, and chefs serving up bite after bite of incredible flavors, all included with your ticket. Grab a drink from Bourbons and Brews Mobile Bartending. Enjoy live music by Nick Fisher, and catch your favorite college game on the big screen while you sample it all. Shop local crafts, create a hands-on project to take home, and from 11 to 2, step up for Anarchy Axe Throwing. Tickets are just $20. Kids under 12 are free. Unlimited food, drinks, crafts, and axe throwing. All ticket proceeds support Love Inc. of Shelby County. Eggheads, don't miss your chance to buy a preseason demo egg at the lowest prices of the season. Smoke in the Ville Egg Fest, September 27th, 10 to 2 at Builders Lumber and Hardware, 1309 Miller Avenue, Shelbyville. Tickets are available at the door or at blhsupply.com. Get yours now.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HUNK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 42424. That's HUNK to 42424.
You've worked hard to save for retirement. Is your financial advisor working just as hard? Find out with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
He went to a baseball game instead of watching the Charlie Kirk funeral. Did you get shamed on social media like I did?
I did not. I did not. But to be fair, no matter what you would do, Rob, you'd probably get shamed because you're just an unlikable, dead on the inside person anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I say when people ask me, like, Rob gets a lot of criticism. Does it bother him? It's like, no, he's like Mr. Chow in The Hangover when he says, you can't kill what's already dead.
Yeah. I was watching that, like, okay, I've spent a week and a half talking about what a great guy, influential, how he helped people, how good he was for freedom of speech. And because on a Sunday I chose to watch the Colts and the Bears and then did go back and watch, the clips, right? Someone was mom-splaining me on Facebook about how I should be watching the Charlie Kirk funeral.
So you mean to tell me, I just want to make sure all my facts are in order here.
Yeah.
Somebody was giving you criticism on the internet?
But
when did that start? Whoa, we didn't sign up for that.
Newsflash, but that person was also online if they were noticing that you were.
Fair point, right? No doubt just sharing nothing but Charlie Kirk memes and
hey, can we stop talking about how miserable all you people are and talk about how much fun I had over the weekend
Yes,
crashing
tell
that
us.
wedding? Like, we'll get back to Rob's miserable life and Casey, you having to sit here and act like you're interested in it. But the wedding that you and I crashed this weekend, they loved us up there.
This is the guy who took the photo at the Delphi CVS.
Hey, I had to do the touristy stuff, right? We drove around Delphi because we got up there early because this is where our wedding was. And they're still getting the ballroom set up. So, like, well, we got an hour to kill. So we went and did, like, all the true crime stuff.
Nice.
We went to the CVS where, Numbnuts worked at. We drove by the bridge. The softball complex, which is named after Abby and Libby, which I thought was awesome because I didn't know that.
And then the lady who was working at the CVS, we were like, so do you get a lot of people that come in here and want to see the CVS? And she was like, what?
What are you talking
She's like,
about?
I just moved here.
Oh.
And she goes, and we were explaining this to her. Like,
Didn't know the story.
What, really? And then she goes, well, maybe that explains why the houses are so affordable here.
Like, if someone is a new hire there, do you not bring it up? Be like, just, hey, recently we were in the news, but it's nothing we did.
Right.
Something like that. Like, if you're a realtor, do you have any responsibility to tell somebody they're about to move into the Manson house?
Yeah, and what was alleged to have happened there. So she was totally blown away, and we tried to, obviously as nicely as possible explain,
Right.
all the things
and it
that
wasn't
happened.
just going there to be morbid. I got some gum because I didn't want my breath to stink as we were shaking hands and kissing babies at the wedding.
How was the wedding?
It was great. We don't go to the ceremony, right? Ceremonies for family and friends. We go for the party, the conversation, and man, the groom was awesome. He was the one that invited us. His old man, we had some conversations with him, and
you knew the DJ.
I knew the DJ. Yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time.
So you guys can't walk in and do like the Wedding Crashers, like, we're a banjo duo from
We're
Granger.
Uncle Ned's kids.
Yeah, right? You can't do that.
No, we were invited, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I say wedding crashing, but we solicited for an invite, and we got invited, and we went, and we brought a gift. Again, we got Rob Kendall to spend money on somebody else.
That's right.
Are you going to show up in the family photos? Like, is it going to be in the wedding outfit?
Front row,
next to the
Really?
next to the groom, and we were laughing as I was standing next to him because it's him and his wife, and then us, and I was like, 20 years from now, they're going to be like, those are your two felon friends that you.
That one guy's in a federal prison right now. He was locked up by Governor Beckwith. But no, man, they were so cool, and like the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, they were all coming up. We're having drinks together, and the groomsmen invited us back to the man cave where they had the college football games on.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a great time, and the neat old church that they had the wedding in. And that's the thing about Delphi, like, not to veer off topic here, but you look at that community, and I think that's why it was so shocking to people who were from there. You see it on TV, but you don't really get appreciation for what a kind of a neat little
small town.
Old community that it is until you go see all these old buildings and stuff, and you say, how could that have happened here?
And it's all real close by, right? Like, you drive down like a couple blocks, you'll see the courthouse where like it was the epicenter of the legal world for a little while. And then, the bridge, and then the park that's named after the girls, and the CVS where, the killer worked at, and it's all just like connected. There's the funeral home, there's the church, it's all right there in a little square.
What are you doing this afternoon?
So we're pretty loaded this afternoon, right? So City County Council, they got a big vote tonight.
The Google Center.
The Google Center. Michael Paul Hart's going to join us in studio, and we're going to bet on who Boss Hogg said has probably paid off to vote for this thing.
You got a feeling on that, how that's going to go down? Because a lot of people keep saying it doesn't matter what they're saying publicly. Hogg is not going to let this fail. They're going to find a way to get this thing passed.
Well, I'll find out what the counselor thinks. It's his district, right? And some council members were saying, I'm going to defer to this person's district. Well, it's Michael Paul Hart's district.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I know Jesse Brown is on Team Paul Hart.
What if you had to handicap it right now? What if we were
I
betting?
think it goes down, but I don't think it's as much of a blowout as we think it's going to be.
Okay, so it'll be very close.
Yes, some folks are going to flip-flop. This may shock people, but Carlino may flip-flop.
Because they can lose one right now, right?
I think so.
There's 16 that are out, and they got to get 15 out for it to fail.
I also have one of our favorites coming on the show for the first time from Polk County, the Sheriff Grady Judd. Mr. Graveyard Dead Grady Judd.
He does a ton of stuff with the new Chris Hansen episode.
Love Grady Judd. Yeah! Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford.
Ask him about Hansen. You got to ask him about Chris Hansen.
You're jam-packed today. Thank you, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Retirement isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about knowing how to play the next movement. Without a plan, your savings can feel like noise instead of music. I'm Jason Hutchins with Guardian Wells Financial. I've seen too many families head into retirement without the guidance they need. That's why I wrote Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. I'd like to mail you a copy at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929. Inside this book, you'll find real-world strategies on turning savings into income, making smarter Social Security decisions, and reducing a bite of taxes in retirement. Call 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 for your book today. Don't wait. Supplies are limited, and when they're gone, they are gone. Orchestrate your retirement. Discover the rhythm of a confident future.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wells Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Call 317-660-0929.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease, 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, where Indiana Governor Mike Braun thinks his state can capitalize on some opportunities. Arrests have been made in shootings across Indianapolis from the violence this past weekend, according to IMPD. You'll hear who they arrested and why, plus a concert in Hamilton County for next year announced today. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it's 11 o'clock.
Is it a medical breakthrough? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump thinks so.
I think we found an answer to autism. How about that?
He said that at Charlie Kirk's memorial, and the announcement is coming this afternoon, reportedly citing studies linking Tylenol to the developmental disorder, but the company that makes it rejects that.
Most medical groups, major medical groups, they do maintain that Tylenol or acetaminophen, its active ingredient, is the safest way to treat pain or fevers during pregnancy, noting that high maternal fevers also have been linked to autism.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House.
There's also a lot of anticipation today about potential autism treatments. The administration is reportedly going to launch an effort to explore something called leucovorin. It's a cheap version of folic acid that's been used off-label for a number of years to help children with speech impairments.
Back to the Charlie Kirk Memorial, where the president told a crowd of tens of thousands.
The assassin failed in his quest because Charlie's message has not been silenced. It now is bigger and better and stronger than ever before.
Kirk's widow, Erica, in tears, forgave her husband's suspected killer and then said,
"The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love."
Erica Kirk has taken over leading Turning Point USA, and tonight, the first on-campus event since the assassination will be at the University of Minneapolis, Twin Cities. Also later today, President Trump will go to the United Nations in New York, where Australia, Britain, and Canada are joining other American allies, recognizing a Palestinian state, which Israel strongly rejects while still waging war against Hamas in Gaza.
Hamas has drafted a personal letter to President Trump asking him to guarantee a 60-day pause in the fighting in exchange for immediately releasing half of the hostages. Remember, there are still 48 hostages being held by the terror group inside the Gaza Strip. It's estimated around 20 are believed to be alive.
That's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The weather throwing something different at you, that being rain coming down right now all throughout central and southern Indiana. It's also cloudy and 66 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:02. And along with that rain falling this week across Indiana, the temperatures will be changing.
It should stay fairly cool compared to what it was this last weekend. We get back towards seasonal as we get into the late part of this weekend into early next week, which seasonal for this time of year is like upper 70s to near 80.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says both the rain and wind gusts might be heavy at times. At least 2 people died and roughly 11 others injured in shootings across Indianapolis over the weekend. IMPD announcing this morning that they arrested a man named Carlos Contreras for a shooting on Georgetown Road, and they also say they took a man named Brian Edwards into custody for a shooting that happened Saturday night. In that case, Edwards is charged with attempted murder and battery on a public safety officer. Governor Mike Braun saying that AI could strain Indiana's power grid. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Braun wants a bold energy mix, nuclear, coal, and renewables, plus tighter oversight and a tech corridor to drive innovation.
That was something that we had to do because it was brought up from the prior administration. There were some things that needed more daylight, more transparency.
Looking ahead, he told Inside Indiana Business that biosciences, microelectronics, and quantum technology will be central to Indiana's future. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A decision supposed to be made tonight on the future of a $1 billion Google data center proposed for Franklin Township. The Indianapolis City County Council is supposed to make the final vote on whether to rezone 468 acres of farmland for it. The council meeting gets underway at 7 o'clock. Coming up next year, Blues Traveler and the Jen Blossoms will co-headline the Hamilton Southeastern Celebration Education Foundation Legacy Celebration in Fishers on February 20th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, and the concert is supposed to help staff and students through partnerships with businesses and community members. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 11:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
Indy, don't use the beautiful fall to paint. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Tower powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, so that Google data center vote is tonight. We got into this a little bit with Hammer at the end of his segment. I'm going to be fascinated to see what happens because I can't see Joe Hogshead ever not getting his way, but I also can't figure out how two people are going to backpedal out of it after an emphatic no vote statement.
Right. Well, what's Hogshead going to do? Remove Michael Paul Hart from leadership?
Well,
he's already been removed.
Yeah, so I assume most people are, if you're a long-time listener, it's Kendall and Casey, so I'm Rob, that's Casey. Google is proposing a massive data center put in Franklin Township in the city of Indianapolis.
460-acre site. They want to build a $1 billion data center.
And this is obviously, much of it is still shrouded in mystery. They've allegedly cut some sort of deal with the Franklin Township school system, things they're promising to give them. Nobody gets to see or know about a lot of that, though, ahead of time. And obviously there has been huge pushback from the residents out there basically saying, look, we don't want this. We have concerns about the project itself. We have concerns about the incentives that are shrouded in mystery that Google is getting. We are concerned about the electricity and water usage that go into this. And so there has been serious pushback from the people in Franklin Township about this project, and they have been able to their credit, in a very well-organized fashion, push back on this and get 16 Indianapolis City County councilors to say they are now against it when 15 of them would sink the... By the way, I know we do this a lot, but Franklin Township, I know we say these townships a lot. People are trying to picture this. This would be the southeast side of Indianapolis, like basically butting up against the greater Greenwood area. Like I'm trying to put on a map if you're trying to, like, where is Franklin Township? I think I dropped the ball on that quite a bit by not spelling out Beech Grove, Cornerstone Beech Grove, so you have a sort of an idea where we're talking about. But anyway, so we will see tonight, because the mayor of the city of Indianapolis is vehemently in favor of this project, and he has a great track record of getting about whatever he wants.
Yeah, so some council members are questioning, though, Google's lobbying tactics. Google invited some of the councilors to tour its new Albany, Ohio data center, but several others, including some people who are opposing it, say they were not invited to go tour the Ohio data center at all.
Well, and that's...
So even more concerns about transparency and secrecy and possibly behind-the-scenes lobbying.
Well, and so this is sort of, in many ways, kind of it's become a theme of our show today, in which it's not ever necessarily the thing. It's, as you said, the lack of transparency, the perception of cover-up of some capacity, letting some people know about some things, not letting other people know about other things. And you, the public, just stand back and go, what am I to make of this? What am I to do with this when if you're hiding one thing from me, there's a reason.
And what else are you hiding?
And what else are you hiding from me? Right? This is the thing. It's not the acts oftentimes, it's the dishonesty, the cover-ups, the whatever that lead people to think you're doing potentially even worse things than you actually are.
So Hart and Delaney, they say they were not invited.
Michael Paul Hart and
Brianne Delaney.
Yes, our county council members.
Yep, and councilors Nick Roberts and Jared Evans and Derek Cahill, they said that they did get the invite but didn't attend. And then you have Josh Bain said he missed the invite initially and only saw it after the date was passed.
All right, so we'll see what happens tonight, and we'll let you know tomorrow on what happens there.
Yep. Okay, let's talk government shutdown for a minute, can we?
Or not. Like, who do you care? Okay, I get that it's technically a big deal, but do you even care at this point? Like really? How many times have we heard about this? And then at the very end, oh, the Republicans are digging in this time. They're done with the unaccountable spending. They're going to do. And then, okay, whatever.
Right. Well, I care because Chuck Schumer is saying that, health care is a red line for him. He wants to extend the Affordable Care Act and tax credits and cover illegals.
Aha. So this is where you're going to find out who the Republicans are. Because you're right, Casey. At the heart of this is the Democrats want the Obamacare subsidies, which is Obamacare. Obamacare basically cannot exist. It falls apart without the subsidies. Because Obamacare didn't make insurance more affordable. It just shifted the cost to the taxpayers. Is any person out there right now? Remember when Obama was like, it won't cost you a single dime extra. Is any person's insurance gone down the past 15 years?
No.
Anybody's health care coverage
the opposite.
gotten better? I'm not saying medicine isn't getting better. I'm saying like the health care system. Anybody finding it a more enjoyable experience than you used to? No. All Obamacare did was give away a bunch of stuff to the insurance companies and make you pay for it. Now, it didn't make anything better. It just made somebody else pay for it. And the Republicans, for 15 years now, have huffed and puffed, election after election, about getting rid of Obamacare, about stopping Obamacare, about it's unconstitutional, it's this, it's that. And every time they have an opportunity in total control of government to get rid of Obamacare, they don't get rid of Obamacare. Well, currently, the Obamacare subsidies are set to expire, which would essentially gut, not all of it, but a big portion of Obamacare. And the Republicans now are talking about a separate agreement in which if the Democrats agree to keep the government open, because The Hill had a big article about Trump's got to get involved. Trump's got to come save the shutdown. And what they're talking about now is because the Republicans are so in the legalized vote buying business, they really don't want the subsidies to stop, especially not ahead of the midterms. We just talked about last Friday here in the state of Indiana. Indiana proposed really good reforms to its Medicaid operation because they're out of money. The Republicans in Congress, the Trump administration, said, no, you can't do that until when? 2027. Why? Because they don't want the freebies to stop ahead of the election. So here is another opportunity for the Republicans to put up or shut up. If they just do nothing, they will essentially gut Obamacare. But the Hill article is talking about how Trump is going to save Obamacare and the subsidies in probably a separate bill because they don't want Obamacare to fail because they're just as in the legalized vote buying business as the Democrats.
So Schumer and the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, they sent a letter to Trump on Saturday asking him to meet to keep the government open. John Fetterman, though, he sounds like he actually agrees with Republicans. He said it's a dangerous tactic to force a government shutdown like Schumer wants to do.
But that's a dangerous tactic if you are going to shut the government down for one of our policies to. I think it's the right thing to extend those health care things, but it is absolutely the wrong thing for a lot of reasons that we're going to shut our government down.
Shut it down, keep it open.
Well, it's just exhausting because how many times do we go through this where, oh, this is going to be big. Oh, it's going to shut down. Oh, the society's going to end. And then the Republicans just cut some deal and we just keep spending money and the government doesn't get any better and our lives don't get any better. Like we have had
the boy who cried wolf.
We have had multiple government shutdowns in my lifetime as an adult, in fact, and every time society kept going forward. If you were serious about getting Washington under control, if you were serious about getting spending under control, there's zero way to do it without a government shutdown. You will never accomplish it without a government shutdown. The problem is, and how many times have we talked about this course of the day? Let's bring it back to the whole Charlie Kirk thing where they're talking about, you have no idea what you have awakened in this country. Of what? Because unless you're talking about awakening an army of people who are going to rid us of the leadership of the Republican Party, which I haven't heard a damn word about anybody saying, we got to get rid of Thune and Mike Johnson, then it doesn't matter how many rank and file Republicans you elect, because the party itself is wholly invested in legalized vote buying the same way the Democrats are. They just want different stuff out of it.
Well, speaking of the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, he believes the deal can pass without concessions. He said, all it takes is a handful of Democrats to join the Republicans. That's all. And that happens so often.
7.
Yeah.
7.
By the way, Congress is on recess this week. So they're not even working on it.
Well, look, I mean, it's already passed the House. The House. So what the House did is they passed what they call stopgap, which is how we run our government. We never have actual budgets or whatever. We just do it. We wait till a week before and then pass a 3-month extension or 2-month extension. And then we say this will be the last time. We're never doing it again. And then we do it again, and we lie to people and justify it. And then we just keep doing this over and over and over again. So they passed what they call a clean extension, which is essentially current operations of the government will continue for 2 more months, as is no cuts, no anything. And the Democrats, because Schumer got in big trouble last time when he agreed to keep the government open, said, we ain't doing that again.
Not doing that again.
All of these people are rotten, Casey. They're all rotten. They all use you. They don't care about you at all. And that's why I love the enthusiasm from the Charlie Kirk funeral and the people that spoke, and I think that's wonderful. But I've just been through this too many times to go, oh, yeah, this is the time it'll be different. Oh, yeah, this is the time it'll be amazing. No, because at the tippy top, you still have the same rotten group of people who are just going to, as I've seen numerous times, hijack the hard work and enthusiasm and love of very well-meaning patriots who love our country. I've seen it happen too many times.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
There's just something special about late summer at Wilson Farm Market. The sweet corn's still crisp, the tomatoes are juicy, and the cucumbers taste just like the summer should. Stop by with the family, fill your basket with fresh produce, grab some hot, fresh fried chicken, pick up homemade jams, and select from hundreds of cheeses to make every meal something special. And don't forget that famous pretzel bread. It's always a hit at the dinner table. 20 minutes north of Carmel on 31 in Arcadia. Online at wilsonfarmmarket.com. That's wilsonfarmmarket.com.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Jim Scott says only the best will do when it's your reputation on the line.
We want to install something that's high quality so we can move on to the next job. The way we install it is high quality and the equipment that we use is high quality. So when I shop for something to sell, American Standard was there. It was just the highest quality there is.
In Boone and Hamilton County, call 765-601-1461 for Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. LGX-Boom.
Look around. Your home could probably use some updates, but you don't have a lot of extra cash floating around at the moment, right? Don't replace, refinish with Miracle Method. From countertops to vanities, tubs, showers, and more, they'll create a custom solution to give you a brand new look while saving you up to half off the cost of replacement. Metal, ceramic, fiberglass, and more. They've got you covered. Call 317-202-1305 or go to miraclemethod.com/Indianapolis to schedule your free in-home estimate today.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
What the heck are we going to talk about? There's so many things going on right now.
The redistricting.
Oh, yeah, there's just so many things.
Yeah.
I got like 9 things moving in my brain
And the
right
fact
now.
that Rod Bray acknowledged that he did meet with Trump in the Oval Office.
Yes. Okay, so let's get into this. I think everybody already knew that, but let's set this up. By the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, our old pal James Briggs, what did he say about me? He said something nice about me, didn't he?
He said your arc has been interesting.
No, I think he said it's the most interesting.
Oh,
Don't sell me short, Casey.
Yes, the most interesting.
Like Trump didn't call me a decent dream.
Mm-hmm.
He called me a great dream.
A great dream.
You're really insulting
He
all that
wished
I've accomplished.
all interviews could be that
Yeah,
way.
he didn't say I wish some interviews could be just like mine. He said all interviews.
Sure.
I think James Briggs, columnist for Indy Star, said my story arc is, not that I've memorized it, but that my story arc is the most interesting thing going on in Indianapolis media right now. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was something along that.
And I'm not one to toot my own horn, but anyway, I want to make sure we
direct
get
quote.
So James Briggs tweeted out Jim Shella. Many people remember Jim Shella. He was a reporter for Wish TV for years, longtime staple of Central Indiana. He's got a column out now where he apparently had a sit-down interview with Rod Bray, who is the pro tem of the Senate, the leader of the Senate. And we've talked about how Rod Bray and Todd Houston, the Speaker of the House, they want no part of the redistricting. They don't want to do it. They don't see any merit to it. They don't think it's going to be good for them. They get nothing out of it other than grief and potentially losing seats in the upcoming election because they know it will motivate people. While they may be able to rig those districts to get 2 more Republicans, they don't care what's going on in Washington because that ain't them. What they're worried about is people being outraged, and rightfully so, that they're further rigging these maps, and they're going to show up who otherwise may not show up to vote. They're going to essentially give fuel to people who otherwise wouldn't engage. And so Briggs posted this column from Shella where he had asked Bray about the redistricting. And this is perfect. If you want to know how rotten the redistricting actually is and how rotten the Republican leadership actually thinks it is, I'm going to read you this back and forth. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Jim Shella asking the question. Do you have a position on redistricting? Bray's response. We have heard the ask and we are considering it. Me, being Shella. Do you know when a decision will be made? Bray. We have heard the ask and we are considering it. Now, if you thought this was good, if you thought this was effective public policy, if you thought it was good for the state of Indiana, even for your own party, wouldn't you have been like, oh yeah, we've heard it. We're in the process of getting it all together. We can't wait to do it. We can't wait to give this to the people of Indiana. We think it's going to be a flood of people behind us because we know where the people are. None of that.
No, instead you got, we have heard the ask and we are considering it. The description at the bottom is interesting. It says his body language was more telling. He recoiled like he wanted to curl up in a ball, which goes to your point. They don't want any part of this. Goes on to say it was clear that he would repeat his canned answer to any follow-up questions, so I moved on. He's just going to keep repeating the same thing. We have heard the ask and we are considering it.
I feel like that's like similar to like a response we gotten or would have gotten from the Diego Morales people when we were asking them about who paid for India. We have heard the ask and we are considering it.
Right.
Hey, who paid for India?
We have heard the ask and we are considering it.
See, this is the way people want to hate me on this. Just listen to him. He's the leader of the Republicans. He's the leader of the Senate, for crying out loud. He's one of the most powerful Republicans in the whole state. And he don't want no part of it because he knows how rotten it is. He knows they don't deserve it. He knows it's not going to make the government any better. He knows it's not going to do anything to make the state of Indiana any better. Don't be mad at me. This guy's way more... I bet he's certainly a Republican in good standing. No questions asked.
Sure. He has heard the ask and now he's considering it. What, November? That's the last we heard from Braun. Has Braun said anything else about it?
And again, I will come back to, if you know something's wrong, and you know Republicans can't win the elections because of the way they govern. The 1st district is now a swing district. How many years have we heard now? Hey, it's in play. This could be our year. And it never happens. Why? Because the Republicans don't. This is what this is about for me. If you just give in, and tell me how Republican this is, Casey, and you can tell me if I'm in good standing after I say this. If you just give in and redraw the maps, it will never make Republicans actually govern like Republicans. They can't win that 1st district because when they go to Washington, they don't give people anything to believe in. They don't govern to better people's lives. They don't govern in a fashion where people look at it and go, I want to be a part of that. I want the Republican Party to govern like Republicans, and if you just give them the seat without making them earn it, they will never govern like the party platform says they're supposed to. How Republican in good standing was that, Casey?
How dare you want them to be accountable, Rob Kendall? You're banned.
But Jerry Lopez is going to come on tomorrow and tell me why me wanting Republicans to govern like Republicans and not just giving them a seat so they won't govern like Republicans.
That puts you in bad standing.
That's putting me in bad. I can't wait for that tomorrow. I'm so excited to hear Jerry tell me and all of our, if you missed earlier, Jerry Lopez, Indy Spangler, is going to come on tomorrow because he's friends with the Hendricks County GOP chair, and he thinks he's got some gotcha document on why I'm not a Republican in good standing. And what he doesn't realize, or he does realize now, and I'm going to be fascinated to see how he talks his way out of this, is that if you come out and say Todd Young's spending $16 trillion,
which he's not going to stop.
He told me that directly to my face in a room full of people as he was moving very aggressively in my direction.
Right, at the Stacks Pancake.
Yes, which has been confirmed, has it not, by numerous people exactly what happened. We would have filmed it, but we were told no cameras allowed.
Correct.
Nothing says transparency like that. If you say that guy isn't governing like a Republican, but somebody else on the ballot is, I want that, that makes you not a good Republican. If you say, I totally reject Eric Holcomb putting 1 million people out of work and closing tens of thousands of businesses and raising all the taxes and growing the government. If you say, I reject that, but somebody else running is much more like the Republican Party platform, I'm going to vote for them, that makes you a Republican in bad standing. If you say Diego Morales is so wholly corrupt and unethical that I under no circumstances want that guy in charge of personal information for millions of people, but there's somebody else who is way more competent and will do the things the Republican Party claims to be for, that makes me a Republican in bad standing. And hundreds of thousands of other people who hear us every day, Casey, I can't wait for Jerry Lopez. His radio career is going to shoot off like a rocket after he says that tomorrow.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaimed their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They could increase as time goes on. You've got lots of rain on your radar. 68 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Just about all of Indiana will get rain at some point throughout this week.
It's not impossible to see an isolated strong storm, but majority, if not all of these storms, should be just of the general thunderstorm variety.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says high temperatures will also be at least 10 degrees cooler this week than a week ago. The Trump administration is approving the implementation of Meta's AI system into government operations. The system, called Llama, is a language model capable of processing and converting data, including video, photo, text, and audio. And Pfizer is looking to buy the weight loss drug maker Metsera. The number that's been floated out there is for $7.3 billion. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Brookville Road and South Arlington Avenue. Get there before the truck is gone.
We have the best technicians in the business here at Family. They'll take care of you every time. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
We caught him lying again.
Oh, no. Are you surprised?
So we need to start one of those little boards in the office that says, you know how they have days without an accident?
Yeah.
Except it'll be days without Micah Beckwith telling a lie.
You're talking about the lieutenant governor. He just announced he's doing another town hall.
Oh, well, great. Good for him.
Tonight at 6:30, he's going to be in Fayette County.
Dang. Well, I'm hoping maybe if we have a Fayette County listener, maybe they can ask him about what we're about to play. And look, we've said this repeatedly about the lieutenant governor. It's not the actions, because in some cases we don't even know what the actions actually are. It's the constant appearance of deception and untruths that in many cases may lead you to believe that things are worse than the actions are, but we don't know because we can't get an honest answer from the guy on a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And this relates to, obviously, we sort of dominated the news cycle on Thursday when we had Aaron Sheridan, the former senior staffer to Micah Beckwith's office, come on and in a 20-minute interview detail allegedly seeing artificial intelligence pornography in the lieutenant governor's office. And the big takeaway out of that was that one described the event itself and how it was viewed, but also that the people viewing it said the lieutenant governor was aware of it and that she reported it to Sherry Ellis, the chief of staff of the lieutenant governor. And again, even if you think this is the least big deal in the world, first of all, the Indiana General Assembly obviously didn't. They made it a crime. But even if you think it's the least big deal in the world, aren't you upset if you think your politicians can't tell you a straight story? Shouldn't you be outraged if you catch them not telling the truth or in blatant dishonesty? Because what else are they lying to you about? This is the thing with all these people that I keep coming back to. It's not even the things itself with Micah. It's one lie, one untruth after another, and I will not tolerate it. I will not stand for it. Because if he's lying about this, what else is he lying about? All right, so he being Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor, went on with Hammer and Nigel on Friday. And Casey, in that interview, he very clearly laid out to Hammer and Nigel, they asked him specifically, if he knew who Tom LaBianco was, and if he had had an encounter with Tom LaBianco before the story ran. Tom LaBianco is the freelance journalist out of Maryland, I believe, who broke the artificial intelligence pornography story, right? And he very clearly, with Hammer and Nigel, on Friday, correct me if I'm wrong, you heard the interview, he very clearly said to them, yes, I knew who he was. I spent an entire day with him.
Right, he did.
So in the spring, LaBianco was working on some sort of piece on Micah, and they spent an entire day together. I believe he was in the car with him. I think he went to some sort of event. Maybe it was a Lincoln Day dinner he went to him with. He spent the whole day, which he acknowledged on Hammer and Nigel, with Tom LaBianco.
Correct.
Okay. The problem is, and see, when you lie, you can't keep your story straight. The problem is, when this AI porn story first surfaced, he went on WoWo, which is the big talk station in Fort Wayne, with the morning show host. I believe her name is Kayla Blakesley. And when he was asked about the allegations of AI pornography and the person writing the story, who he had just not long ago
ridden in the car with for
now
all day?
maybe he needs one of those tests they give the senior citizens every year, the memory test. But he had just spent an entire day with this guy in the car. Here is the first of two clips he said about not knowing who the guy was.
And so the media just picked up, and it was this news source that I'd never heard of before.
Me neither.
24 site news. But then WIBC just picks it up and starts running with it like there's something there. And they push this out, and they're like, oh, well, this is obviously something because some reporter somewhere in the country got an alleged tip from some, and they're all anonymous sources. This is the same thing they did to Trump.
Okay, go back and play just the first 5 seconds for me.
And so the media just picked up, and it was this news source that I'd never heard of before.
Me neither.
24 site.
Yeah. Pause. So he had spent an entire day with the car, Micah granted him the access, spent an entire day with the guy, and then comes out when the story hits, it goes, I have no idea who this guy is.
I don't know who that is.
And you know why we went with it, Micah? Because we had a source too. And we revealed our source. And people can believe that source or not believe that source. We didn't run with it because Tom LaBianco wrote it. We ran with it because we had information on it. Now, in case you think it was a slip of the tongue or just a momentary lapse in sanity, he said it again in the same interview. Listen. Yes.
I get out there, I tell my story, I tell the people what we're doing, I work hard for the people, and then I let my record speak for itself. So I couldn't care less if, there's some, news source that I've never heard of writing articles about me.
News source I've never heard of.
So that's twice in the same interview he told you he didn't know who this guy was, yet he had just not long before that spent an entire day in the car, went to events with him, did an interview with him, and he tells you he doesn't know who he is. It's not the thing. The thing could be something, it could be nothing. But if they keep not telling you the truth,
it makes you question.
Absolutely it does. All right, so we're going to start a board here. We're currently at 0. Let's see if we can get to 1. Days without us catching the lieutenant governor in a blatant lie. Go.
Okay. So it was a blowout weekend in Indiana sports, Rob. Notre Dame, IU, the Colts, the Fever, they all won with comfortable margins. Sorry, Purdue. Oh, no. But
who were you cheering for? Because your kid went to Purdue.
I was cheering for Notre Dame. I'm done paying tuition at Purdue.
You paid all that money and you can't even cheer for the team?
Yeah. Well, I wanted Notre Dame to actually win a game this season. right? But Indiana football shooting up in all of the different polls, aren't they? Ranked much higher now.
Well, that was a heck of a beatdown. Isn't it interesting? Because Notre Dame is always, whether they're good or not, I mean, they're always decent. Look, and they lost those first two games, but they're both to ranked teams, and they could have and should have probably won both those games. Notre Dame is not out of the college football playoff picture because, one, they're Notre Dame, and if you go 10-2, you're going to get in. And on paper, they should probably win the remainder of their games. I mean, they will. But Notre Dame, whether they're good or not, is always, the eyes and ears of the football world because they're Notre Dame. But it's very rare they ever have a running mate to go with in the state of Indiana. It's always like, hey, it's Notre Dame, and then, well, IU might get bowl eligible this year if we're lucky. Hey, Purdue, they might get to go to the Liberty Bowl if ever. Maybe we could get 8-4 this year. You have IU now as I don't know if they've surpassed Notre Dame. Like if they played Notre Dame, because everybody said this last year, oh, they could run circles around the Irish. What happened, Casey?
Yeah.
Notre Dame beat them into the dirt, right? So I don't know in that game who would win, but IU certainly in terms of a talent, now not popularity or exposure or whatever, has certainly matched or surpassed Notre Dame. And for the first time ever, Notre Dame has a national running mate from Indiana.
So is Indiana that good, or was Illinois that bad?
Well, I think it's both. I think IU is really fast. I think they move that offense really effective. And I think unless you have a defense, now we're going to find out because don't they have Penn State coming up? I mean, they got to go to Iowa, and then I think they got Penn State after that. So we're gonna find out.
Right, real quick, if it's true, if it's real.
It's interesting because last year, sort of the knock on IU was, hey, they kind of didn't play anybody very good. And they got against one good team. They got pretty much pulverized, which was Ohio State. And then they got beaten pretty badly by Notre Dame. And those were the two good teams they played. This year, they got a murderous schedule of games that they got to get through. And if they come out of those with 1 or 2 losses, they're definitely one of the top 12 teams in the country.
So Hoosiers moved up 5 spots to number 12 in coaches poll, 8 spots to number 11 in the AP poll. Signetti talking about the huge win.
But you never look satisfied on the sideline. So what will you take from this dominating victory over a top 10 ranked opponent to open up Big Ten play?
We got done what we wanted to get done. It was a dominant game. We played from the first play to the last play. And it's a good win. We've done a lot of great things here in a short amount of time with the crowds and the support and all that. It's another step forward for us. And get ready for the next one.
You could make a pretty compelling case. Now, I'm not an IU football historian, and I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to, go, no. But in terms of where the team is actually at, their ability to be a part of the national title conversation and the expectations of the team, I think and who they beat, you could make it in the manner in which they beat them. You could make a compelling case. That's the greatest win, certainly in modern IU football history.
Yeah, it was Indiana's 7th win over a top 10 team in the program's history, and they're now 4-0. They've been ranked nationally for 17 consecutive weeks if you go back to last season.
Hey, I got a question for you. As an someone with an IU diploma on my wall,
right?
Why Purdue so bad?
I don't have coaching.
They got a new coach.
It's all
Same
coaching.
thing.
Hey, did you see your Bears won too?
They did, and you know why they won? Because
coaching?
No, it was because in my infinite wisdom, I'm looking at the score at halftime, and I'm like, all right, the Bears are up 10. We can definitely lose this game. So to ensure, the only way to keep them from losing is for me to place a bet on the Cowboys.
Right.
And the Cowboys' odds were so high at halftime, I said, look, either I'm going to win a bunch of money on this, or the Bears are going to avoid being the first 0-17 team in NFL history. So for $2, I think I did my part to get the Bears that first win of the year.
Hey, did you hear there was a concert announcement this morning? Blues Traveler and Gin Blossoms are going to headline a concert February 20th.
Is it outdoors?
It's at the Fishers Event Center.
Dang, I was hoping you'd say it was going to be at Ruoff.
So it's part of the second annual Hamilton Southeastern Education Foundation Legacy Celebration, right?
Oh, if it helps an education foundation, I'm probably out then.
Okay, so what it does is it supports the public education through grants, also scholarships for some of the graduating seniors.
Taxpayers?
Access to extracurricular programs, and I'm curious, if you're not in it for the benefit, but you like the band, do you go?
No, I couldn't go if I hated the benefit. It's like, remember when this was 2004, when Kerry ran. Was it Kerry? John Kerry was 2004, right? When he was running against Bush, And all those famous musicians did that the Concert for Change tour. Like it was R.E.M., Fogerty, I think Pearl Jam was in on it, Springsteen was in on it. Like there were like tons of famous people, and they were playing at football stadiums, and all the money was going to and it was like, man, I'd love to go to that, but I certainly could never give.
I can't support the cause. Yeah. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at the Fishers Event Center website. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Is this actually the turning point? After the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Central Indiana, get ready. On Saturday, September 27th from 10 till 2, it's back. The second annual Smoke in the Ville Egg Fest at Builders Lumber and Hardware. And this year is bigger than ever. Picture smoke in the air, food sizzling on the big green egg, and chefs serving up bite after bite of incredible flavors, all included with your ticket. Grab a drink from Bourbons and Brews Mobile Bartending. Enjoy live music by Nick Fisher and catch your favorite college game on the big screen while you sample it all. Shop local crafts, create a hands-on project to take home, and from 11 to 2, step up for Anarchy Axe Throwing. Tickets are just $20. Kids under 12 are free. Unlimited food, drinks, crafts, and axe throwing. All ticket proceeds support Love Inc. of Shelby County. Eggheads, don't miss your chance to buy a preseason demo egg at the lowest prices of the season. Smoke in the Ville Egg Fest, September 27th, 10 to 2 at Builders Lumber and Hardware, 1309 Miller Avenue, Shelbyville. Tickets are available at the door or at blhsupply.com. Get yours now.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. $2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned with the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129 and take $75 off the air duct cleaning too. Book online at ZeroResIndy.com.
Game day starts with the Colts Ultimate Tailgate. Join WIBC October 12th at 9:30 a.m. at the Slippery Noodle for drink specials, games, prizes, and all the pregame fun you can handle. Don't miss Indy's Game Day Kickoff Party. More details at WIBC.com.
Okay, we made 2 very important decisions for the show during the break.
Oh, yeah?
Kendall and Casey show.
Remind me.
Well, okay, first of all, before we do, Caleb has been filling in for Kevin the last 2 days.
He's been doing so good.
He's done an awesome job. This is his first time on our show. And
He's
congratulations.
smiling.
I told him I said I would sign some sort of legal document for his permanent record, letting him know he did a good job. So
this is going on your permanent record.
good job, Caleb. We're all very proud of you. Thanks for not making any egregious mistakes.
I appreciate you guys. I know the last segment was a little rough, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me.
You did great.
Well, when you got to keep track of all the lies, it's hard to. So you did a fine job. Anyway, okay, so 2 important decisions we made during the break. One, in light of my ban from the Hendricks County Lincoln Day dinner, I think I'm going to give the Lincoln Day speech that people would get if I was the speaker at a Lincoln Day. Now it'll be an abbreviated version.
Sure.
Maybe
How long do they typically?
They could be. Man, some of these girls go long, but you should be able to keep it up for like 15 or 20 minutes max. Because let's face it, politicians are boring. That's why we rarely have them on our show, because they're so boring.
Snooze fest.
They are. So, none of these people should be speaking this long. Now, me, on the other hand, totally worth it. But I'll try to keep it to an 8 to 10 minute segment that we do. I'll give the Lincoln Day speech.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what your overarching theme will be?
No, I'll probably write it about midnight tonight.
Or are you going to give it tomorrow?
No. I think Wednesday. I think I'll do it Wednesday because the event's on Thursday.
Sure.
And then the other thing we were thinking about, my old pal Steven from Indy Reporter, Steven Whitmer, at Indy_Reporter_. He's very popular on the Twitter, exposing all sorts of stuff on Indiana politics and government. We were thinking about, we may be the 2 most disliked people in the Republican Party. Steven has recently ran for public office as a Republican. And we thought, in light of that, maybe because we've got some people that don't like us, but a lot of people who do, maybe we ought to do a rival Lincoln Day and invite the public to that and see how we do versus these county parties.
A Kendall Day dinner?
Yeah, we would have the Indy Reporter, Rob Kendall, Lincoln Day dinner. We'll serve the actual dinner like everybody else. You buy a ticket. We have guest speakers. I'll speak. Steven will speak. You will. You said you would be willing to speak. We have our own Lincoln Day dinner, but with no agenda other than what the Republican telling you what the Republican Party actually is.
No, when you go to a Lincoln Day dinner, when you're invited and you don't get banned, you have to pay for that ticket?
I was not going to have to pay. I was invited with someone.
Right, but he had to buy the ticket?
Oh, yeah, he had to buy the ticket. So I'm sure he's thrilled that he'd have to spend the money to go hang out with these people.
Right, because he's doing the big refund.
And I want to say this, and this guy, I begged him to let me say his name. He goes, no, because I don't want the publicity. He's a really nice guy. He said, what he did is so rare. He stood up for what's right, which is, Rob does all the things we should want Republicans to be.
Yeah.
Rob talks the way Republicans should talk. He talks about the things Republicans should talk about. He tries to hold Republicans accountable the way we should want. I'm not going if he can't go. Give me my money back.
Yeah, normally you would say, because you even said you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I told him.
You expected him to go without you.
I did. I told him when we talked on, I guess it was Friday or Thursday, I said, look, you and I are going to be friends. No matter what, you didn't do anything wrong. I said, now I'm going to tell people what's going on, whether you do this or don't. And he absolutely did the right thing, and it really it warmed my heart. But anyway, I think we would have a Lincoln Day dinner, but we would set the rules so people would want to go. So first rule, no politicians. You don't have to have anybody deal with anybody asking you for your vote or trying to act like they're your friend or any of that stuff. No politicians. We're banning people.
Okay.
No politicians can come to the Indy Reporter Rob Kendall Lincoln Day dinner. I think that's the first rule I'm going to throw out. What do you think? I think people would want would want to go to this.
So it's a room full of people, no politicians talking about politicians.
Yeah, our tagline, I think, in my mind would be, we'll tell you the truth about the Republican Party.
Okay.
Republicans telling the truth about Republicans.
You better make your speech that you're going to give Wednesday sizzle.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be kind of the,
I actually think
the hors d'oeuvre to the main event.
If you follow Stephen on Twitter, he would probably give a more fiery speech than I would give. Because, I usually play within the rules and regulations that the Federal Communications require me on these valuable radio airwaves that I work for.
He doesn't have those restrictions
a large
on the
corporation with standards. So he don't have those.
Right.
So I'm thinking let us know at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter or at Indy_reporter_ if you would be interested if we did a Republicans holding Republicans accountable Lincoln Day dinner. First rule, no politicians allowed.
You're going to have some research to do, like where you're going to have it and the cost of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and
what sort of food you're going to serve.
But we don't want to do it if like
rubber chicken dinner.
Well, maybe we would have like an Arby's dinner in honor of Rob Kendall being the presenter.
Have Arby's do it.
And we would try to make it more affordable as a part of that. Instead of charging you $50 or $75 or $100 or whatever these tickets are, it would be like $20 and you get Arby's.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas.
I like it. Keep going with that, okay? Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for listening today. It's been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Take me home tonight.
We still have plenty of days left to enjoy our backyard spaces. It's Terry Stacy, and thanks to Premier Deck Coating, our deck is protected from the harsh environment fall and winter bring. Harsh because our deck is surrounded by black walnut trees, so nuts have always stained our deck. We just don't have that problem anymore because of Premier Deck Coating. Our 25-year-old deck looks brand new, and it's not. Locally owned Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection. Their special formulated product repels mold and moisture, scratch resistant, all backed by a 10-year guarantee. Premier Deck Coating takes care of sanding the wood. They repair the damaged boards in preparation before they apply the special formulated coating. They can also do the same for pergolas and fences. You truly will be thrilled with the results. No more painting year after year, easy to take care of, and that saves time and money. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. There's still time to get you on the schedule before the year ends. For a free quote, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service? Need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring.